Last time on Square Roots, a dragon sticks her neck out so we can reach Oni Island. There, we catch lightning in a bottle, bust up a blockhead, and indulge in a little fox hunting. Also, a scrap of paper heads to the big recycling center in the sky. Toby or not Toby? Guess we've answered that question.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Heyo.
John the Dark Lord Brandon.
The dogs are back in time! The dogs are back in time!
And Vanessa.
Sup?
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs one chunker at a time. This is our final episode of Ōkami.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm glad that it's over.
Yeah, I'm fine with it being over. I think it went on a little too long, but...
I mean,
talk
what I
more
meant
about
to
that.
say is... Live Alive, episode 1. Let's go, gang. Who's
I
excited
haven't
for
got
that?
My cartridge yet.
Let's
I ordered
talk
my
about-
cartridge.
Do you guys want to talk about prehistory? And there's no
I haven't
dialogue.
played it yet. My
And
cartridge
you know how
is
I
on
feel
the
about
way.
no dialogue. How'd you
John
feel
is
about that cave woman
usually
and her sexy poses?
John's usually ahead of us on playing games. Well, that's
I
because a
know.
lot of us usually stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm ahead. I've done 2 chunkers already.
I know.
wow.
I need to do the Wild West so I can catch up with you.
It's so good. I might actually do it again. I liked it so much.
That's
Wow.
how I felt about the China segment.
I'm doing the China segment, but I don't know how far into it I am. It's hard to gauge to me. Like, what's...
They're short. They're shorties. I like them.
I don't know. I don't know when it's ending.
The,
I expected something to happen, and I expected there to be like a character change in the China one, but it hasn't happened. So maybe it's not going to happen.
Vanessa posted some fun songs from an upcoming chunker that are amazing, and I was very delighted by them.
We have a lot to look forward to. But we're not talking about that right now. What are we
That's
doing
right.
here,
Live Alive
Jim?
episode 1.
Nope. Next week. Jim, what are we doing?
We're recording a podcast.
What do we do on this show?
I already said it.
Hey, Jim, do you like...
Hey,
What temperature do you like your gaming news?
a nice, cozy 69.
So, like, cool gaming news?
Yeah, like
Lukewarm
cold.
gaming
Yeah,
news?
Nice,
comfy
cool.
gaming news.
Gaming news.
Comfy. Well, how about we enter into some tepid gaming news? Are you all ready?
Uh-huh.
No. We only discuss hot gaming news on this show. Hot gaming news. Hot gaming news.
Oh, okay.
I got some hot gaming news.
Yes, please.
Everyone knows that the Metaverse is the coolest,
Garbage.
best game / social environment ever, but only had one problem, and everyone was eschewing it because there were no legs. But good news, legs is coming. And finally, we can all go join the Metaverse and be virtual
Show feet.
pals with the Zuck.
Show feet.
Yep.
I saw a headline earlier today that said that
What?
Facebook was appalled at their initial user report that showed that they only had 30 active users in the Metaverse.
And that's definitely only people working at Facebook, too.
Yeah, and not like I didn't read the article, but like I would assume that like for a Metaverse, quote unquote Metaverse product, to be an active user, you probably have to be in there quite a bit. So, but still, only 30 people. It's pretty sad.
That is
So just
rough.
out of curiosity, has Vanessa been replaced with one of the Facebook algorithms? Vanessa, I'm going to share this meme. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
She banned me. She banned me from the show.
Vanessa does amplify a lot of right-wing rhetoric on the show.
Wow.
Maybe she is like a Facebook algorithm.
Maybe you'd be interested in this. Vanessa, why would you be interested in that?
Sorry, we don't allow posts like this as they go against our community guidelines. Y'all are banned. end.
Wow. I knew it was going to happen.
That's my
I'm
hot
looking up
gaming
Polygon to look. I knew there was a couple of things I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember exactly.
Well, who
What they
am
were.
I? This lady asks, and it's a picture of a lady's face, as posted by
Vanessa.
Hideo Kojima. And the answer is Elle Fanning. She's
Oh, yeah.
going to be starring in the horror game coming from Kojima Productions, rumored to be called
That's cool.
Overdose. Which
I
seems
want
like
him
an
to experiment and
unpleasant
not get
title.
stuck in a series again.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. He doesn't have to make
mean-
it Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
It would be cool if he kind of, because like everyone was so sad when he couldn't do PT, so maybe he's going at a horror with like not the same thing, but with the same level of ambition. That's exciting.
Oh, I've got some hot gaming news. Final Fantasy VII's Battle Royale is shutting down in January.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sad.
Wow, didn't that launch this year?
I didn't even know that it was out of beta.
What a bummer, I guess. I mean, none of us played it.
Nope. I don't really play games on my phone. Yeah.
Anyway, what do you guys think? Shut down already, huh? Whose fault is
Yeah.
this?
Well, ours.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Probably
love
like
Final
us
Fantasy.
specifically.
And we love PUBG. So why didn't... They were like, how could Square Roots not be super into this?
They probably made the game just for us, and we didn't play it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
FIFA 23 has Ted Lasso and Ryan Reynolds in it as coaches. For some
Yeah.
reason.
Well,
Guess
Ted
that's
Lasso
fine.
makes sense. Ryan
I like-
Reynolds is in that Welcome to Wrexham show. The
What's
Welcome
I
to
just
Wrexham,
like-
I think is what Ted Lasso is based on. They actually bought a
Oh.
team. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, Rob McElhenney.
From It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia actually did buy a soccer team together. And
When I saw that they were
Welcome to
making-
Wrexham, I think is more of a documentary about that
It
experience.
is. It's a documentary series. I don't know. Like when I saw
My brother loves it. He's obsessed.
Oh really? When I saw the ad for that, I was like, I don't care about celebrities buying stuff.
All right. Hey, did you guys know that Persona 3 and 4 are coming to modern platforms in January?
I did.
That's exciting news.
Yeah.
I think it's exciting news.
Yeah, we aren't going to play them again, but...
I would love
can-
to be able to see what they look like on a console. I've only played the new one on, and that was on the
Vita?
Wii? Vita?
Play on Vita?
Anyway, yeah.
I only played it on... Well, I played it on PC, so it looked very pretty. Oh, speaking of PC...
Yeah, that's
I
right,
guess that's
you
a
did.
level up. Never mind, I don't want to spoil a level up.
All right, I only have one more question,
Uh-huh,
and this one is specifically for Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa, did you know that the Lion King scar will bring chaos to Disney Dreamlight Valley?
Yes, I did. It's kind of a big deal because I accidentally did all of the content for Dreamlight Valley already. Like
Wow.
the first release available content stuff. I can't help it. I game hard and I game well. I'm a pro gamer. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing Scar and making a brand new friend with that pesky little kitty.
It's exciting stuff. I was surprised to see that that game was made by Gameloft, who I know primarily as like a phone game publisher.
It's not unlike a phone game in many ways.
I liked some of their stuff way back in the day.
It kind of borrows from the idea of like wait and play games, but not quite so egregiously. You do have like an energy meter, but you can refill it automatically by going to your house or eating some food. So it's not exactly the like pay $5 to fill up your energy bar now kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just an artificial timer.
Yeah. But it definitely has some influence from that. And there is some like passage of time elements like waiting for crops to grow and things like that. But so
All right.
too is with Animal Crossing and other things.
John, did you say you have a final bit of gaming news?
Yeah, one last thing. There was some storyboard artwork of a canceled Kingdom Hearts animated series pilot. Has anyone looked at that?
Ooh,
No.
Share.
Let me send
Share.
you a link.
Time Dog, Ice Owls, Endgame.
Yeah.
Do
let's
we
see.
bear to look at what we cannot have?
Kingdom Hearts pilot animatic. Okay, one sec. Okay, here you go. It looks like that CDI game with Zelda. Remember
Looks
that?
like dog shit.
Yeah, here. I put the link into the voice chat, and you can.
Oh my God, that's not real.
You can.
No.
Fan
I
art from a
can't believe
child.
this would be
You
real.
made this up.
Yeah, I don't believe this at all.
This looks kind
is
of like that
that?
really shitty Sonic cartoon from the
These
90s.
were shitty animatics that somebody threw together. This was not going to be the look of the show. This is
I
fucking
don't
garbage.
know. It's got a very
No.
American art style, which seems
It
at
does.
odds with the very anime
Yeah.
nature of the show.
Oh damn!
Also,
there's a
the very
video.
Disney nature of the show. Like, Disney
Yeah.
would not have someone else animate their show. It's one
There's a
of the
gummy ship.
major things they do.
Anime.
Or maybe they get someone who can draw Sora to animate their show, and not just like a Squad-a-law looking wizard guy. I mean, this is a very good fake animatic if it's fake. Like, there's a lot of money in this. For how
I mean, the article makes
terrible-
it clear that it's not fake.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
It was an
Who developed
animatic pilot used to pitch executives on the idea of an adaptation. So this is not fake.
Okay.
But
Of what?
who
This
put
is not-
together the pitch? Like, Disney wouldn't pitch to themselves. This
Well,
makes no sense.
but someone could pitch to Disney or Square.
Somebody interiorly would pitch to Disney. Like they still pitch the stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Animator Seth Kersley, who once
Seth
served as executive
Kersley.
producer on a planned animated adaptation of the first Kingdom Hearts game, recently revealed that he found a long-lost VHS recording of the series' animatic pilot used to pitch Disney executives on the blah, 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 blah. Am I reading this to you? You click on the article.
But
I am
no, it
clicking on the
doesn't say
article.
it doesn't say if he developed it or if he just found it.
No, it must have been his. I mean, that seems fairly obvious, right? Like he's an animator.
Cool. It says the series was greenlit after the launch of the first game, but never made it
No
to air
way.
after being scrapped by Disney.
Huh. Well, probably because it looked like trash. But-
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't. If
You can't
if
judge it from
Disney
this.
wasn't involved, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. Anyway, speaking of, we should all watch that Legend of Mana.
Yeah.
I kind of want to. That would be fun.
Well, is it your?
We have to get Crunchyroll.
Yeah, you know, Haley's.
We
been
can all
begging
share.
for
We can all
Crunchyroll.
share. We can all share a Crunchyroll login. Put under the podcast thing.
I'll give you my Crunchyroll. I think my password is or something.
Yeah, let's give out more passwords on the show.
Yeah, maybe bleep that out.
I'm not
Maybe
leaving
bleep
that
that
out. That's a mistake you have just cemented into history, sir. All right. Enough gaming news. Let's talk about how we leveled up. And I'm going to go first. Guys, gals. Has anybody heard of this new Interview with a Vampire adaptation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Has anybody watched the new Interview with the Vampire adaptation?
No.
No.
What? What's wrong with all of you?
I don't care about vampires, Matthew.
We're busy.
We're not teenage girls.
I only like
It's not for
Bruja,
teenage girls.
Toreador,
My teenage girl
Treme.
tried to walk in while I was watching the show, and I had to pause it and be like, "You got to get out of here. This ain't gonna work."
You don't want to
Yeah.
see
Very
them
good at
their
night.
skin sparkle as they walk into sunlight?
Johnny, this show definitely had what I have to believe is the very first time I've ever seen full bare bottom man on man sex on the screen. It
What are you
was
talking about? It
very
can't possibly
explicit.
be.
very explicit.
Was
like
there no-
on a
I never
fucking
watched
cable
Game of
television
Thrones.
show.
Was there any dude on dude bonking in Game of Thrones?
There definitely was.
There was.
This was
in,
way more explicit. This was shockingly explicit.
in True Blood. And that's a vampire
Oh
show.
yeah, that's true.
I watched
I remember.
most of that show too. Anyway, I watched
Johnny, you ever
the new
seen
interview.
any full man-on-man bonking on video?
Yes.
I said on cable television, not on video. It's shocking when it's shocking to me when it's on AMC. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like HBO,
Yeah.
not that surprising.
Well, standards just aren't what they used to be. They say curse words on television and everything.
They do. It's crazy. Anyway, I watched the first episode of Interview with the Vampire, and I watched the first 2 episodes last night, and I thought they were fantastic. Fantastic. A lot of big changes, though I understand that a lot of it was done. I think a lot of it was done with the Anne Rice estate, maybe.
When did she die? Wasn't that pretty recently?
I should fact check myself on that, but it really changes things up. This is not really a spoiler, but I was confused for the first few moments of the show, so I'll explain this. It is as if the first Interview with the Vampire did happen, but the journalist never released anything, and now Louis has found him again, and he's an old man now, and Louis has convinced him to do it again. And the guy is like, I found a lot of issues with the story. Like, there were a lot of holes, there were a lot of questions I should have followed up on, yada, yada, yada. So they're basically doing it again. And that's why I like to think of it as podcast with the vampire.
Wait,
But
with the same journalist?
it's
So he's
the
like
same character.
retelling this.
Yeah. They're retelling it. There's a lot of back and forth between the story and the framework where they're able to discuss kind of some of the changes and like, just as an example, he was not as forthcoming about, the implication is, in the first time I told you this, I made it sound very straight, and the reality is Lestat and I were fucking, for sure fucking, in love, we were fucking.
Okay, I have
Like, there
another
was
question.
a scene that mirrored a scene that I remembered from the movie, but in the movie it involved a woman, and in the adaptation it definitely involved a man. Just as an example, like so. And the point, the premise is he's telling him the truth, and the truth is that he was not whatever he was. He was not a lordly whatever he was up in plantation owner. In this, he's a black man living in New Orleans in the 1800s, and he's a second-class citizen. They talk about Jim Crow. So it's able to do a lot of modern stuff while still trying to maintain basically the same story. And you know what? I think it super works. The first time the guy that plays Lestat walked on screen, I was like, this guy is a tiny little dork, and I don't like him at all. And by the end of the first episode, I was like, this guy is incredible. He's fantastic. He's mesmerizing on the screen. And the guy that plays Louis is fantastic as well. And he does this great thing where he's bouncing back and forth between the modern vampire who is speaking with a very flat accent and very well-mannered and proper because he's 200 years old or whatever, and the not yet a vampire 1800s Louis, who is a poor black man in 1800s Louis in New Orleans, you know what I mean, and does not speak properly or, whatever. He's got a very heavy accent, and it's fucking fantastic. Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes. It seems like the first season is just kind of recover the movie, and I'm super into it. It's great. So watch the new Interview with the Vampire. Vanessa and Jim. Jim, it's a fucking vampire show. You love horror stuff. Vanessa, it's super duper romance. It is explicitly a romance. John, it's explicitly a gay romance. There's not a ton of shows that are explicitly gay romances on television.
Can I ask you another question? Can I ask you another question
Shut.
about the journalist? So
Yes.
at the
He's
end
played
of the
by
movie,
somebody famous. Let me look him up.
But at
I'm
the end of the movie, Tom Cruise bites the journalist and turns him into a vampire. I assume that does not happen. Does that happen in the book? I don't know.
It is referenced. He's got a scar on his neck.
Oh, but he's not a vampire.
But he's not a vampire. That's not how you get turned into a vampire. And he's very wary when he first shows up. He's like, am I going to get attacked again? It plays right into it. It actually...
Does he mention
I was
that
super
Lestat did
confused
it?
at first. I don't think he has mentioned that, and I don't know that... I don't know.
Because it
He
was
has
Tom
not
Cruise that
mentioned
bit
that in
that.
the
It
show.
was
Yes,
Tom Cruise that bit Christian Slater, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It was. There have been some complaints, even though it is explicitly a gay romance in this first season. They said that I've seen people complain that they have straight-washed the journalist because he is shown to he says that he's divorced a couple of times. He's got some kids.
Bi people exist. I mean, I don't
That's
see the
true.
problem.
I don't know. It doesn't. It's the way that it's phrased in the show is like, I was a junkie and I would do anything for a fix. He's like an ex-junkie. My throat's very dry. Interview with the vampire. Cast 2022. Eric Bogosian is the journalist. I don't actually recognize his name, but I recognize his face very well.
I can't. It's too blurry. Oh, that guy's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, he's been in a shitload of stuff. So he's much older. So it is definitely a retelling of the story, but it's explicitly a retelling, which I like. I like that it is not. I really like the way that it's set up because it gives them plenty of space to just be like, the story is the same. It's the same overall story, but things are a little different. It just makes sense. It works really super well. I liked it a lot. Check out Interview with a Vampire if you have not. And just as a quick aside, I read a comic series called Batman White Knight. Has anybody heard of that?
And that's the Dark Knight, not the White Knight.
White Knight is a newish miniseries or series because now there's a bunch of spinoffs in its own little Elseworldsy universe where the Joker makes himself better by taking a bunch of pills and then starts going by his real name of Jack Napier and like becomes a politician, and Batman can't handle it and it all kind of spirals. I don't know, guys. I saw it super well reviewed and talked about and people seem to really like it, and so I read it and I was like, wow, it sure is a story.
You're cynical.
It wasn't very good. It was just kind of boring. Like, it was just another, like, what if Batman was an absolute dickhead and everything was shit in the world and the villains murdered each other and everybody fucked all the time. And it's just fucking boring shit. I don't understand how this shit keeps getting published.
That sounds like super cool and adult.
It did have some interesting ideas. One of them was when he finally kind of wakes up and it's like, oh, I'm not the Joker anymore. He leaves Harley, and then the real Harley shows up, and she's like super cool. She's like back to being not entirely crazy. She's like super smart. She's Harley Quinn, and she's like, yeah, I left you, and you just kind of replaced me with another girl, and that's her. And now that you're normal, I'll try to help you. And Harley was kind of the star of that series in a way. If she had really been the star of the series, I think it would have been a much better series. But instead, the Joker was the normal Joker was the star of the series. It was very drab. Anyway, Batman White Knight. That's what I did. That's how I leveled up. I read some good, bad fiction, and I watched a television show. John has started folding his underwear in the ultimate slap in the face. John? How did you level up?
Why can I still see your underwear in the frame? Get them out of frame.
Sorry. I was trying to multitask here. Got all these socks and underwear to fold while I'm podcasting.
We all have chores.
Yeah. I don't see the problem. All right, so, what did I do this week? Well, I tried to level up while folding underwear, and I don't think they're having it, listeners. I don't think they're having it. All right, what did I do this week? I wrote it down because I thought I might forget. Let me see. I got my Joy-Cons back from Nintendo. Did you know? If you live in the United States or Canada and your Joy-Cons stop working, You can contact Nintendo. They have a little form you fill out, and then you ship them to Nintendo, and then you get them back fixed, no matter how old they are.
How long does that take?
A week.
Wow,
Only
that's
a week.
quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
I
have
remember
so
those
many
old
broken Joy-Cons in this house.
Like,
Well,
remember those
go get
old
'em fixed,
repair
buddy.
things, like, for PlayStations, and it would take, like, 8 weeks?
Yeah, they use like UPS first shipping. Like it's pretty
Huh.
quick. So,
Oh,
yeah. I
so you
got-
just
I-
like print the label and send it away,
Yeah.
and then it comes
Yeah.
home. Oh,
That's
I
all
have
you
some
gotta
I need
do.
to send off.
Well, everyone, get on that. Get your Joy-Cons fixed. Also, I got intoxicated Sunday night, and then I bought Soul Hackers 2 on PC. It was on sale-ish, like 30% off. Do you ever feel like 30% off doesn't feel like a real sale? Like it has to be
Yeah.
over 50% before it feels like it's on sale?
Absolutely, like 60
Dude.
or bust.
I most of the time, $20 is my top. I don't care what the discount is. Like if it's more than 20, I'm waiting. Maybe 25 if I'm dying for it.
Right.
Also, Soul Hackers is a SMT game.
It sure is. Shin Mega Man Tenjin.
Shin Mega Man 1010.
Yeah.
Um,
and
what is it? What is it? Tell me about it. What is it like? Is it an Elden Ring? Is it a Zelda Ring? Is it a...
It
Card
feels,
battler?
It feels like a lower budget version of SMT 5 or 4 or
Oh, weird.
or even Tokyo Mirage Sessions. It's a real low budget one. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
like if you like that gameplay and like there's still story and stuff going on, like it's set, this one has more of a hackery feel, so there's computers and it's set in Tokyo, but all the dungeons are kind of copy and paste rooms. So it's not
I
like
mean, isn't that what Persona is?
not Persona
You
5.
just get that random... You get those random...
The Persona 5 had set maps, right? Except for the
No.
I guess it's like what's that the subway called in Persona 5?
Oh, the Tartarus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it
It
Tartarus?
was just like the other ones. It had every
Is it?
like 5 or 10 levels,
Maybe
it
it
would
is.
change colors basically, but that was it. And it was
Yeah.
randomized. They were randomized.
Yeah. So it is, but not the main, not the palaces, only that.
Johnny
one
is right.
side.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
you're right.
palaces are
You're right.
set.
I forgot.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So
Wait, aren't they all like that? Don't all of the Persona, the in the head parts are unique dungeons?
No, 3 is only in Tartarus, right?
no, it had those at side dungeons, but they were super short. They were like the bathhouse and
Before you
a
kept
couple
That was
going
other-
into
4.
the
Yeah,
that was
television,
4.
and there
Oh,
were
sorry,
like
the sex
television
hotel.
specific levels.
the
right?
sex
Oh.
hotel,
You know what?
the train.
I'll
There
find out
were
soon
some,
enough
like,
when I replay the whole series.
So that's definitely something. And then I guess this kind of leads into Vanessa, maybe her level up. Vanessa did show me a trailer to a film that looks incredible, maybe like the best film of 2023. I think that it might be. It is coming out in January when all the best movies come out. It is called M3 GAN.
Threegan.
It's a Model 3 generation Android.
Android.
Yeah.
It's Chucky, but it's a little girl android.
Yeah, it's like a Lady Chucky. Well, let her be her own thing. I don't want to just because she's a killer toy doll who misunderstands protecting someone and goes overboard and starts murdering them and doing TikTok dances. Watch the trailer, I would suggest. That trailer
Is it a
is-
keep summer safe situation? It's not a
Yes.
Chucky situation?
No, no
And, well,
Chucky.
it's like I'm gonna keep her so safe. I'm gonna murder people,
Yeah.
which
that
is
makes
like
sense.
the plot of the Chucky reboot.
Yes.
Oh,
But
that's right.
Yeah, so it looks fun and really good monster design. I think the villain looks very ominous, and doing the TikTok dances is a lot of fun.
It's like they nailed the uncanny valley for
Yeah.
the android. It looks so weird but also like lifelike. It's so strange.
Yeah, definitely. Like the way it moves is very lifelike, but it's
Yeah.
got this creepy baby doll face. And yeah, she friended me on Twitter. Nothing wrong could go wrong with that, right?
Yeah. John's now on a...
That account is going to get...
John friended her.
Yeah, that account is
No,
going to
I
get
liked her
every
post,
dick
and
pic
she
ever
friended
taken
me.
sent to it, and it must be a nightmare. I hope
Now
that
I'm
nobody
folding my
has to
underwear
go
off
into those
camera.
DMs. I hope that no human being has to go into that bot's DMs.
I hope not.
That's the real scary story.
Oh yeah, that's true. It'd be funny if like it could detect dick pics and be like, I am now sending this to every contact on your list, saying that you sent this to a child.
That would be amazing.
That would be, yeah, that would be great. Vanessa, how did you level up other than showing me that amazing trailer?
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing I did this week. I also went to a spooky haunted house. It's October. It's time for spooks and it's time for scares. I went to this combination escape room haunted house experience. So you go, you do the escape room, and then you're taken into the haunted house, and you do the haunted house. I loved it. It was a really good haunted house. It was very long. It had a lot of different themes. It had spooky hotel. It had spooky religious people holding a revival.
Ooh.
It had spooky garden. It had spooky clowns. It had...
Was each one a different escape room? So you couldn't, or did you do all parts of
No,
that?
the escape room, you have like a few different flavors you can choose. We did a like evil carnival escape room, and it was a really good one. It had several doors that you had to unlock and go through, and then in each little escape room, it was a kind of different creepy. Like there was one that was full of dolls, and there was one that was full of like rusty old farming implements and things like that.
Oh, God.
So that was great. And then we did the haunted house, which took probably like 17 minutes to get through, which is a good value for a haunted house. They're usually pretty short. And it had elements where you like had to crawl through a pitch dark tunnel, and the walls were all padded because it was like a maze and you had to crawl through this maze.
Oh, jeez. I don't like that. Crawling? I'm not
Yeah,
crawling.
you had
I'm
to crawl.
43.
It had a thing where there were like inflatable tubes that you had to squeeze your way through, and it felt like they were like squeezing in on you from either side. And one of my friends I went with got spat blood on him. Like a performer
Ew.
just spat a whole bunch of blood right on
disgusting.
him.
That's gross as fuck.
It was pretty gross. I'm glad it didn't happen to me. I do have one problem with haunted houses. It's more that they have a problem with me. I don't think they're scary. I think they're delightful and wonderful. And it tends to be a little bit off-putting for some of the performers. Because they jump out at you and they say, like, boo. And then I just, like, grin at them. And I'm like, hello, yay. And they don't like it. But that's how I feel.
The performers went and checked on my friends because they said I was too scared. And I should probably not be in there.
Oh, no. Yeah, so my friends made me go first because they know I don't get scared, which I think is not the way to do it. I think that you should put like a
That's
scaredy
definitely the way
boo
to do it.
in the front. Well, I did my best to, when I was like walking through a place and would see someone hiding, to not look at them or acknowledge them so then they could jump out behind me. So if you go to a haunted house, maybe you should pretend to be scared, like to celebrate the performers and their hard work at scaring you. But at the same time, like, I gotta be me. And they're putting on a great show. Why wouldn't I be smiling and delighted? And, like, the decor was great. And that delighted me as well.
I think you should have been in the back of the line.
Yeah, I think so too. But they always push me in front because I'm too brave.
But if I was going to a haunted house knowing I'd be scared, I'd be scared, I would want someone in front of me who is also going to be scared. That way they could take the brunt of the scare and I wouldn't be as scared as like experiencing the front.
You put the not scared person in front of you and you get them drunk so that they're laughing at everything. And then you have a little alarm bell. That's what I used to do.
Yeah, but I tried to like not give away where people were.
Well, then were bad at your job, and that stinks.
Yeah.
Why'd you even go if you don't even like it?
I did like it.
Why'd you go if you weren't going to shield your friends from terror?
I did shield my friends from terror. Sort of. I went first, and that's all that they asked of me. And, yeah.
There's an implication, Vanessa.
I'm going to one of those places next weekend.
Oh, nice. I wonder if someone's going to spit on you.
They say Fort Worth has the #1 haunted house in the nation.
Okay.
Whoa.
It's true.
I wonder if you'll crawl through a dark tunnel or be squeezed by squeezy bells.
Maybe.
I've been in other haunted houses that use the squeeze technology. It's pretty interesting. I
walked through a room that was floor-to-ceiling bubbles one time in a haunted house.
Oh, that's cool.
But they were like the big wet bubbles, and my clothes were soaked at the other end of the room.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if she was supposed to spit on people. That seems like in this day and age a little bit.
Probably not. I don't think that would have been allowed before COVID times.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to spit on people. Maybe she had a little squirt gun and you just didn't know.
Maybe she was a Megan and it was fake.
Maybe she was a mech and it was fake. That's probably true. Yeah. That's what happened to me. What else did I do? I think that's it, but that's probably enough. Oh, no, that's not it. After the haunted house, we had to get some food and like a drink. There was only one place that was like open and had availability nearby.
Hooters.
No, it was.
What was the male version
Outback
of Hooters?
Steakhouse.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
How could I forget?
I went, and then I had an upset stomach the next day, and it's probably not Outback Steakhouse's fault, but like my fault for insisting on getting the Cobb salad instead of something that was like fried and boiled and baked.
Yeah.
I remember you telling us about this because you messaged that you had sour tummy from Outback Steakhouse, and I was just like trying to think of jokes, like Australian jokes, but I was driving and I couldn't type anything, and I was really disappointed.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, here's your chance. Hit us with those good Australian jokes.
I don't know them off the top of my head now, but I was really riffing in the car.
Sounds like you were down under. Hey!
It sounds like Vanessa was having a rough time at back.
Yeah.
That's what. That was a joke. That was a joke I made. Didn't I say? I think I said it sucks that Outback hurt your Outback, and then in parentheses I put your butthole.
Oh yes, that is the joke that you made.
Wow.
We're very good at jokes.
Yeah.
You're very good at jokes. You're basically professional comedians.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean we could be on Taskmaster?
I hope so. Although, you know, never meet your darlings or whatever they say.
No, I think you'd have fun.
I'd have a great time, but people would hate me. Like, the British public would write in and they'd be like, first of all, this lady's American. Second of all, we don't know who she is. Third of all, she's like trying too hard. She's a try-hard.
You know, I almost said
people singing with an American accent.
Oh, we all talked at the same time. Jim, go first.
Yeah. I said, why are all these British people speaking with an American accent?
Oh, I apologize. People would write in and they'd be like, first of all, she's American. Second of all, she's a try-hard. Third of all,
Isn't it?
she talk too loud, don't she?
Yes, don't she?
Why she keep singing these little songs?
Why she's singing little songs? She thinks she's so funny. Nobody has ever heard of her. Why don't you get some real celebrities on?
Instead of don't she,
Like
you should have said
Johnny
she
Brenton.
does, she does.
Yeah. Get her out of here. We want a Brexit from this lady.
Vanessa
Nexit.
is it.
Make her eat out back.
Make her eat out back.
Send her out back to the States, mate.
Who gets a salad for dinner? We
Apparently,
like steak and
Vanessa
kidney
doesn't
pies.
like blooming onion.
No, I don't like to eat fried food. It hurts my tum-tum.
Jeez, what
Blooming
doesn't
onions
hurt
are
your
amazing.
tum-tum?
What
They
doesn't
are really
hurt my
good.
tum-tum?
I mean, you can't go wrong with a fried onion, you know? Like, you can't
You
go wrong with an
can.
onion. You can't go wrong with an onion.
I just pickled one today. Can't wait to eat it.
Again?
Yeah, I pickled some more onions.
You're pickling onions every day these days.
I know. So good. Eat them on anything.
Yeah. Jimmy Piper picked a pickle pepper pickin'. That's what he's doing.
Yep. Pipple, pepper, pippin.
She thinks she's so funny, but her wordplay makes no sense. What a
So,
slag.
Why don't you move on
She
to the
keeps
next
flirting with
person
the
to level up,
hosts.
Vanessa? I think that your level up is
right.
done.
Yes, my level up is done. I choose
There's only
Jim.
one person left, right?
Hey, yeah, I'm the only one that's left. Let's see. I watched the new Heck Razor.
Oh, I watched that too.
That was it was pretty okay.
Yep. That's a great description of it.
Are we gonna do an episode on that?
That's your fucking decision. Stop asking us.
Well,
Yeah.
we're doing multiple things this month. Spoilers.
Well, that's
We
fine.
have-
We can do it. I'm fine with
Well, I
it.
guess we could talk about it now. So we're gonna have we're gonna do a commentary for our collective favorite film, Ghost Ship.
Never seen
My
it.
favorite movie. You've never
Yeah,
seen
everybody's
it,
favorite.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it for the first time.
now
with
I'm
Matt.
Yeah,
really
I think
excited.
I've watched the beginning, to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
He's
I'm pretty sure
gonna
I've
be a
watched the
baby
Oh, well,
beginning.
there's so
franchise.
much more you got to
Maybe
experience.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
10
the
minutes,
beginning's
5 or 10 minutes,
iconic,
and then
but-
turned it off.
There's so much to love.
There is.
There's a ghost.
So that's exciting.
There's a ship. That's all I know.
The musical montages, I mean,
Wait, is it the
Amazing.
ghost
Oh,
of
yeah.
a ship? Or is there a ghost on the ship?
why not both?
Maybe it's both. Let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we're gonna have a couple little slices of spooky
What's
content.
our
So
Patreon
we're gonna have
bonus episode this month?
Heck Razor.
Oh, is it Heck Razor?
That's not what you told
Yeah,
us.
we're gonna talk about.
That's not what you told us.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
I said
not.
Heck
You
Razor.
said
Not.
barbarian.
Barbarian's the last thing
Oh,
you
it's
said.
Barbarian. That's
You've
right.
said so
Okay.
many things. It's
Sorry.
obnoxious. It
I
doesn't
know.
come out until the 25th.
Sorry, I'm excited.
Jim.
I like it. I'm excited. Okay, yeah, we're gonna watch Barbarian.
I wouldn't-
So expect that by the end of the month.
Nobody needs to watch the new Heck Razor, and certainly we don't need to talk about it because there ain't much to say, dog. It's a lot of slow, boring middle and a fun end. That's it.
I liked the Cenobites.
Yeah, the
I thought they were
Cenobites
creepy.
looked great, and they were all great. I liked the new Heck
Yeah.
Razor lady. All the Heck Razors were great. The special effects looked good. It was bloody, and the hour and 15 minutes in the middle was the boringest fucking movie ever. Like, oh,
It was
let's just walk
boring.
around and talk about our fucking family drama. Uh-oh, now we gotta go talk about our family drama over here.
I know it's kind of silly to
Let's all
because
eat
like
dinner
it
in the
gets
dark.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know it's kind of silly because people complain about this thing on Twitter a lot, but
I liked the main
like,
actress.
There's
I
a
thought she was great.
there's a scene in the movie where the main actress walks into the kitchen where all of her roommates are eating dinner, and they're sitting in the fucking dark eating dinner, and then they have an argument with each other, and they're both just standing in the dark. Like, why can't
don't-
anyone in that apartment turn a fucking light on?
I don't remember that
That's
being
crazy.
the case at all, but
I
you know,
do. They
I
were
was-
sitting in the dark.
I have to admit that I was very intoxicated when I watched it. It was had to rewatch the last 5 minutes the next night because I was nodding off during the best parts of the movie, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Like, the final 25 minutes is pretty dang good.
It's
I
good
think.
once they get to the weird
yeah.
house and
Yep.
Cenobites start showing
And
up.
weird,
shit gets
yeah,
good.
weird guys there. Yeah, it's
Some
good.
fun twists there. It's good stuff, but the middle of the
Yeah.
movie is
Yeah.
But I liked
so,
the main chick.
I
thought
watched
she was
that.
good.
Yes, yeah. So
What else did I
watched that. I saw some live music. I went and saw a band and at a show. The band was called Jukebox the Ghost.
Sounds like a fake band that you just made up on the spot.
Really good? Nope, they are real.
Name one song
They're
by
kind
Jukebox
of,
the Ghost.
Fred Astaire.
That's
That
just
is
a
a
person.
That's the name of the song.
Fred Astaire is a song by an old pop punk band, and we all know that.
Are you talking about Frank Sinatra?
Listeners, if you've heard of Jukebox the Ghost, email us at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com.
I think Matt's
Who
thinking
was
of
but yeah,
the
Frank
opener?
Sinatra.
Because you said the opener was very good.
Oh,
You didn't say who it
I
was.
was going to mention that too. The opener was so good. A band called Karook, Corook. They were such a fun, poppy little band, just like a little three-piece, but their music was amazing. It actually brought... There's one song in particular that brought a lot of people in the club to tears. I noticed a lot of people crying.
Aw.
Yeah, they were very... Like, I've never seen an opener be so consistently good.
Send me a link to their Spotify. I'll listen to a couple, or like a track you like of theirs. I want to.
Okay,
see
I
that.
will. Yeah, they were awesome.
We up
So-
in the club and we grind in the club.
That was
Everyone
good.
at
And
the
then
club is
I-
crying, crying
On
at the
the
club.
recommendation of someone that I should not have listened to, last night I watched a movie called Old People, which is about murderous old people. Like, old people get tired of being treated like junk, so they start like murdering the younger people. And I didn't really understand their end game. Like, if all the old people kill all the younger people, who's going to take care of the old people?
Isn't the movie about people filming a porn and the old people killing them? Wasn't that one you told us about?
No.
Okay.
No, that's X.
Okay.
It's a different one. This is just old people who decide to kill other people.
It's so typical because old people had their chance for like 70 years to kill people. And now it's our time to kill people. And they're like, no, we still want to kill people some more.
You just described the state of America in the year 2022.
It was, for what it's worth, it was probably one of the lesser quality movies I've seen in a long time. It sucked. Was not good. There's a scene where there's a gaggle of creepy old people staring in these people's house, and the lady goes outside to talk to one of the old men, and he just like shambles up to her. He has a Bible in his hand, and he slowly tears a page out of it and hands it to her. And it's got the passage highlighted that basically says, "Be nice to old people," because there's so many of them. And it's like, this movie is terrible. But yeah, don't watch it. That's how I leveled up. Let's talk about Ōkami.
Ōkami. Remember Ōkami? That game you played last month?
Yeah.
Well, I finished it, so I appreciate you all waiting for me. You didn't want me to break my streak. And
It was nice to get a little ahead in Level F. Mm-hmm. I think
I'm
by
getting
the
the
time we record that next week, I'll be like fucking a full episode ahead. And you know what? That's nice. It's nice. Maybe I'll try to keep it like that for a while. You know?
I've got my
You know what I
copy arriving Saturday, because that's how fast
Nice.
things arrive in Canada when you get them off Amazon. It's like, maybe Saturday. Shrug emoji.
I definitely just bought it digitally. I can't wait.
Yeah, Johnny,
It's fun though,
why-
John. You're gonna like it. It's good. It's a fun, cute, fucking JRPG. I'm super into it.
Yeah, from Vanessa's clips, it looks like something I'd really enjoy. What's your question there, Vanessa?
The Vanessa clips today were crazy. Sorry, Vanessa.
Why are you buying physical media in this year 2022, Johnny?
Only on Switch. That's the only system I've decided. I'm going to buy physical media because games, especially like nerdy games on Nintendo systems, like go up in value. And Jim was saying I'm a hoarder last episode. But
He
I
is.
swear
You are.
you're all going to be... Who's going to be laughing when I have all these valuable JRPGs and you're out there trying
that's why
to...
you have that. That's why you have that bagged and boarded Spawn #1 on the wall behind you.
Exactly. Who's...
Hey guys, speaking of physical media, look what just showed up.
Ooh.
What?
My Ghost Ship Blu-ray.
I already owned that on Blu-ray. I didn't have to order it.
I don't think I've seen it since it was out in theaters.
So good.
Fairly certain
it's
it's
gonna
on
be great.
Prime, isn't it?
Sure.
I don't know. I'm definitely gonna make my daughter
yeah,
watch it.
but
Though.
sometimes people want to own the physical media because, who knows when they'll decide to take all these shows off of our things.
Yeah.
What if Jeff Bezos takes away my ghost ship?
Exactly.
What Jeff Bezos does?
I don't even want to talk about that shit. I made my son watch the new Mortal Kombat with me last night.
Heck yeah.
It's as bad as you remember. In fact, it may be worse than you
not
remember.
very good.
Remember how the last fight in that movie takes place at a UFC gym? Remember how the new Mortal Kombat did not feature a Mortal Kombat tournament?
Yeah.
Then afterwards, it was like up next, like you could watch the old Mortal Kombat, and I was like, how about we watch 30 minutes of this and just get a feel for it? And he legit, even my son was like, this movie's cheesy, but it's already way better than the last one.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation is unwatchable.
I've never managed to
saw it
finish
in
it.
theater.
I've never managed to finish that movie. I've 100 times in my life been like, how bad can it be? I'm going to watch it, and I'll make it like 15 minutes in and just go, no.
There's literally nothing about it that's good. There's not a redeeming thing in that movie, I don't think.
It's wild. John,
Yeah.
you had something to say about Mortal Kombat?
I saw Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Oh, God, Vanessa left. She does not want to hear Mortal Kombat talk.
Vanessa
It's
loves
not very
Mortal Kombat.
good. Annihilation, I saw it in theaters and I hated it. Like, it was unwatchably bad. I didn't walk out. I've only left one movie early in my life. And
What was it?
What the bleep do we know? But that's because the power turned off in the theater.
Oh,
It was garbage.
I've only walked out of one, and it was fear.com.
I've seen that one.
It's so bad.
So
I would have walked
friends,
out of what was that? Transylvania?
Transylvania Hotel.
Hotel
Transylvania,
Transylvania.
yeah.
If I did not have children with me, I would have walked out of that movie. I had never in my life been so miserable in a movie watching experience. But my kids were in trance, so I was just like, I'm in hell.
I went on a date and watched Jack and Jill, and I wasn't gonna walk out of that one, but oh boy, that was bad.
Oh, it was
I've never
really
seen that
bad.
movie.
I think I saw that. No, I didn't see
that the
Jack
Jim
and Jill.
Carrey?
I saw.
No,
No,
it's
that's
Adam
the one
I
Sandler.
was thinking it
even
was.
worse.
I saw that Jim Carrey one. That was terrible.
Me,
Which
myself, and
what
Irene.
Jim Carrey one? Liar.
No, it's
or
called
Liar,
Liar,
Liar.
Liar's
Jack around
fucking
or something.
amazing.
Oh,
Ooh,
Are you talking
I didn't
about-
watch that one?
Oh, was that Jack and... Yeah, I've seen that one where he's like commits securities fraud or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very
That
different
one
than
wasn't that bad.
A movie where Adam Sandler played brother and sister.
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
Adam Sandler playing brother and sister, Jim Carrey committing securities fraud with Tay Leone. Different.
All
I mean,
right,
I know which one I want to watch.
Friends.
The one with Tay Leone.
If you remember last time, we went through this like weird clockwork gateway that somehow teleports you very far north to the northernmost island of Nippon. And it's called the Northern Lands. And we
The
there?
Northern Lands. It's all icy, and there's frozen stuff that sucks to run on. And
It's called
It
ice.
does suck to run on.
Matt, you'll have to come up here sometime. I'll show you how that works if you come north in January.
I've never seen it.
It's pretty fun.
Never seen ice?
I've certainly never seen a frozen body of water.
Oh, you can like
Oh.
Really?
where I grew up on the I grew up on an island near Montreal, and people go out on the lake next to the island and just drill holes and ice fish.
Wow. I joke that I've never seen snow, though I have actually seen actual snow coming down, but I've never seen like snow built up on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Like you've never seen like accumulated
Yeah.
snow?
Never
that's
once in
pretty
my
neat.
life.
Wow.
We gotta take Matt on like a winter holiday, a ski
I agree.
trip.
Yeah.
Dad,
Ski
Dad. I just called
trip.
myself Dad.
Yeah,
Matt
Dad's
wants to
coming
play
to
in the snow.
Dad.
Daddy wants to play in the snow.
Hey, Dad, do you want to go to Whistler?
Hope you guys
come visit. We
appreciate
can all
what
go
I've
to
done with my
Whistler.
beard.
We can all go sledding, or
Yeah,
tubing.
Tobogganing.
I'm not much
Yeah.
of a skier, but I'll go in a tube.
Yeah, the inner tubing's fun. All right. So anyway,
But what I really love is being a large bunny. sitting around.
Let's make a Square Roots 80s raunchy ski comedy.
No,
Yeah.
raunchy.
Wait, what? John is the person saying no to this?
Only if
Yeah, no
we're
kidding.
setting each other up with random hot people who are at the hotel.
That's the idea.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
hooking up with each
No.
I don't
other.
wanna do
We've
that.
been through
Oh.
that. We don't want to go back there.
That's right.
We don't
That's
talk
why
about that
all of
dated
weekend.
each
That
other
almost,
in
that
every
almost tore the show
combination.
apart, John.
So
Well, that's why we all don't share a bed in the Square Roots house anymore.
it turns out that was a
Vanessa has her
terrible
own wing
idea.
of the house.
Yeah.
And the rest
We've
of John,
coupled,
Jim, and I
we've
sleep in
thrupled,
bunk
we've
beds.
quadrupled.
That's why we never make eye contact anymore.
It is important to note that John, Jim, and I share one triple bunk bed.
Yeah, it's great. It gives us more room for activities.
Yes.
So, the frozen lands. You get there, and Isun's like, "Oh gosh, it's real cold. It didn't used to be this cold here. We should find a place to stay." And you find this cabin, but inside this cabin is a man with a mask. It's like a wolf mask, I guess, a dog mask, and he does put on the mask and then fight you, thinking you're some kind of demon. You're not, though.
I don't like this. I don't like this man. I don't like introducing a new character at this point in the game.
Well, they introduce a lot of new characters at this point in the game.
That's what bothered me. Is this felt like well, it's not quite a third. It felt like a whole other third of the game they tacked on. I know it's not that long, but it felt that long.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on here. It definitely is, it's a chunker. Because you defeat him, then you find a guardian tree, and then you can make your way up to this village called, I don't know, Wep something. And you get to the village, and no one's opened their doors until you get to the tippity top of the village. And the chief there notices Isun and is like, "Hey, you're a Ponkel. What are you doing here? We'll get out of here. No one in this town likes you. They're not going to talk to you. I'm the chief now. My name is Skimbleshanks." Unless one of you
Isun seems to know a lot about what's going on. He's like, "How come you're chief? Where's the other chief? What's
Yeah.
going on here?"
Where's Ōkami? Why does Ōkami have that fancy silver sword that he says is going to... Ōkami will not shut up about the silver sword that he says is going to shatter an ice wall. He's like, it's going to turn
Ōkami
silver.
says that his sword, is going to turn silver. He has to kill all the monsters until it turns silver, and then he's going to shatter a wall, and then a path to the heavens is going to open, and he's going to be the big hero.
He'll show Skimbleshanks who the chief's real favorite is. I don't think it's a great plan. I don't think he's thought this one through.
I just could not be bothered to care about some new guy at this point, you know? Like, introduce him earlier or don't introduce him at all.
And you do get the update that, well, you run into a lady who's, I guess, in the form of a deer, I think. Because everyone in this town, they got masks. They can all transform as they're part of this. I forget what the name of their people is. But they're all part of this
They're the
tribe.
Moon Clan, aren't they? Is this the
What?
Moon Clan?
No way.
No, the Moon
These are
Clan is
Animorphs.
from the moon. They have rabbit ears in their hair.
Kaguya was Moon Clan with her space helmet that we fought about.
Maybe.
She had bunny ears.
Yes.
Poking through
Yeah,
her
I
space
guess
helmet.
she might have been a Celestial, actually. I'm not sure. But yeah, she's
she
not...
just takes off and...
I thought she was just a moon tribe.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, there's
Why would she be a celestial?
There's another tribe here, and they all can change into animals. And they don't really go on about that. I kind of like that. That's just there. It's one of the few things they didn't have a 10-minute conversation repeating the same points over and over about.
That's
So you meet this girl, Kai, and she's like, "Hey, Isun, I thought I heard your voice when you're talking to Skimbleshanks there. Come to my house. I'll sort of tell you what's up." And so she says, "Yeah, after the chief almost got killed when the demons were ransacking the village, and things have gotten real cold. They're trying to freeze everyone to death. the demons are, and there's been a lot of people dying in the village, and the elder tried to fight against it, but got injured, and that's why Skimbleshanks had to take over, and Ōkami was mad and thought he should be chief, and that's why he took the sword and left. And also my little sister, I want to say Leela is missing. She went out into the Phantom Forest and never came back. And then you're about to leave, and then Skimbleshanks asks if we can go rescue the little girl who has gone to the Phantom Forest. And first you got to go talk to Tonkel, I believe her name is, the priestess at the top of the hill, and she gives you a medallion that lets you walk through the Phantom Forest. The Lost Woods, basically. It's the Lost Woods.
And on our way there, we see a big ship in some ice.
Mm-hmm. And it's a ship that looks all... you can tell it's from the future because it's got all the glowy light lines on it.
It's got glowy light lines because it's from the future.
Mm-hmm. It's a future ship. I'm at the part in Xenoblade where everything has glowy light lines on it. I'm like, this must be from the future, except the future's the past. Like a lot of JRPGs.
You know what? Don't you even... Nope.
Okay, I won't spoil Xenoblade.
No spoilers, because you have said you're going to make us play those games.
Yes. And you'll love them just like I do. And you won't be like, this
Maybe
is too
I will
long.
like 2. I didn't like 1, but I played it on the Wii. It could be better than I think.
Yeah.
I don't
Anyway.
know what the fuck I played it on.
So, we go to the Lost Woods. And the Lost Woods, the deer girl sort of leads the path through there, but she's like, we only have a certain amount of time, or else you're going to get choke
5
on
minutes.
the
It's
fog.
a lot of time.
And I rushed through this. You really don't have to rush through this. I was worried because it seemed like that time was going to be an issue. And especially, I think after the first time, I believe you get unlimited time later on. So you can get there's a lot of named enemies that you can fight in there and secret treasures.
Oh, really?
Lots of stray beads. Oh, yeah. If you want to spend extra time in this game, there's a lot of stuff you can do.
I thought this was a decent little area. They've got thorn walls up that you have to jump through, and I don't know, just stuff stopping your way. It's not really a lost forest. It's just like a branching forest that has a timer on it. It's all right. I found I was able to dodge through the trees and stuff, so it didn't. I finished with 4 minutes. There are also a shitload of plus 30-second power ups around. So.
Well, this wasn't
I was
as bad
finished
as
with
Toby.
plenty of time too.
This wasn't a Toby level of challenge.
Bye, Jim.
Toby's dead. Get his name out of your mouth.
Okay, I will. So you get to the end, and there's a weird gate. Oh, actually, no. Before that, you get to a stump halfway through, and in the stump, he seems like, "Oh yeah, that's where my town is." You're like. And the wolf's like, "Arr?" He's like, you can go in there if you want. I'm not going in there. I'm not going to talk to those losers. Did any of you go into the stump to talk to those losers?
You have to.
Do you?
Of course.
I couldn't remember
Do
if you
you?
had to. I don't know. It didn't seem
Yeah,
like there's
you get something
anything.
in there.
Oh,
They
Do you get
tell
something to
you where the
open
girl
the
went,
gate?
and it opens up the next path. Yeah.
oh, okay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
you find out a lot about Isun in this village by talking to people. What did you learn
Yeah,
about Isun?
Isun. I learned that Isun is the grandson of the chief, and
chief-
that the
Yeah.
chief always pressured him to be better and better and work harder at his art until
And the
Isun
chief-
rebelled.
The chief was Shinryui's little buddy.
Shiranui?
Shinrahui?
Shiranui. She was, the chief was the celestial envoy to the past
Envoy, yeah.
100 years ago, Shiranui. And they're
I
like,
feel like
and
John and I just exchanged accents when I said envoy and he said envoy.
it's true. Woo-wee, I'm Matthew. I grew up in East Texas.
It's true. I don't have half the East Texas accent I did when I was a kid. It's not even close.
I was also waving my hand like I've got a lasso. I have a lot
Yeah,
of
you got a lasso.
preconceptions about Texas. is
I
basically
fucking went to
what I'm
rodeos,
at.
my friend. I took horse riding lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody tried to teach me how to use a lasso, but I could not figure it out.
I feel like I would have been good
What'd
at
you
that.
guys
I
talking
was
about?
a real Bobby
Texas?
Hill.
What about
We're
it?
talking about Texas and stereotypes. And how Matthew was a big
You guys,
Texan stereotype.
are you talking about the shitty Texas power grid?
No.
My power just flickered.
Yeah, do we need to clap again? Nope.
Are you still recording?
No, my track just kept going.
Okay. Well, you're on a laptop, right? So it's got a
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
internal
Yeah, that's
power
what happened with me.
source.
That's why even when I was worried about with the hurricane, with the power going out, I was kind of like, I can still record as long as I have cell
Yeah.
signal.
Yeah.
You couldn't. Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess if you're on your cell phone.
I mean, I could always, I don't, unless I
Through
ran
Zoom,
my
yeah.
power out, I could record for 2 hours on this thing and not. put a dent in the
then
battery.
you're stranded and have no way to contact people. Oh no! But at least I got it done. So
Well, folks, this may be my last episode. The water's coming. Glad I got to talk about Ōkami Part 4.
so you can also find Isun's room, and if you slash at the posters in the back, you'll find his secret drawings. They're all ladies' butts. He's drawn a lot of ladies'
see
butts.
I'm not mad I missed it, either, to be honest with you. I don't
did
like
find
Asun.
his
Like, it
secret
doesn't.
porn.
Learning about Asun did not change my feelings about Asun, which is that I don't fucking like Asun. Because what I don't like about Asun has nothing to do with his tininess or his backstory with his family, and everything to do with his misogyny.
Well, Mika comes out and is like, you know, hey, it's nice to see you soon. We should go through that gate. He's like, oh, nothing good happens through that gate. All us Ponkles know that. And it's like, yeah, but the little girl, we saw that little girl go through the gate. So you got to chase after her, I guess. And also, Isun's still mad at his grandpa, and his grandpa's still mad at him. And actually, the grandpa's like, I was too hard on Isun. I was too strict. I just wanted him to be as good an artist as possible, and he never really got it. And I was really hoping he would be the next celestial envoy, like I was with Shiranui. And
Did you find this old lady who will draw a seal for you?
No.
She's hard to find. She lives
Wait,
in the
yes, I
very...
did. Her name was Mrs. Seal. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Her
will
name's
she
Mrs.
draw a
Seal.
seal?
She lives in the very top of the village, and she's like, I will draw a seal for you, just like I did 100 years ago. And you can draw whatever you want. And she's like, okay, this is your seal. Now you have to leave and never come back here.
Yeah, no, she's like, you must never speak to me again. I drew out Bim Janks, but it looked like Bon Janus because I didn't draw it very well. I tried to draw the word Bim Janks. Did you know?
Penis.
So if you do get her to draw the seal actually shows up when you in the very last ending of the game. It like stamps your stamp.
Yeah, like the very, very end. It's just punk to penis right on there.
Wow.
That's wonderful. So
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, Vanessa.
Thank you very much.
Go through the open gate, the gate through which. So I feel like people have mentioned. I knew. Maybe it was just because Matthew mentioned it. I knew that the gate was going to go back in time, and I thought one of the villagers talked about how the gate was like a gateway to the past, but that's why it was bad.
I don't think so. It's very confusing. It takes a while for you to realize, like, oh, we're in the past. Well, it doesn't take a while. Like, you walk into the village and everybody's young, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
but then it
I
takes,
mean, yeah.
It takes the
It takes
characters like
Isu
another
20
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that Amaretsu knew exactly what was going on, but Izun, it takes a long time.
I don't like to think of Amaretsu as being, like, human
Smart like a human?
intelligence. I like to think of them being a god that has the like is a dog. He's like a fucking wolf. That's fun. Makes a confused face all the time. Good doggy.
Good doggy. So, yeah, you're back. You're back, and it's Kimiko Village. You like show up, and there's Sakuya there, and she's like younger, and her tree's not like fully formed yet. It's just a little sapling that she's growing. Isn't Sakuya a little girl too?
Yep.
She is,
And
yeah.
she's like,
Why, I'm a little Sakuya Fresh Eyes. I'm a baby.
And then Isun's like, where's Sakuya? And she goes,
That's my name.
but he doesn't get it.
No. Isun does not get that they're in the past, even though it's like, my name's Nagi. He's like, what? Why does he look just like Susano? I don't understand. Like,
Matt, you should check out that tweet I just put in the group chat. It's Megan dancing.
oh. So, we realize we're back in time. But the thing is, Nagi, he's just like a Susano. He's also a layabout and a drunk. He's not a super stoic hero. And he's in love with the sake girl, which makes me wonder if Susano's dating his cousin in present time.
Probably. There's only like 5 people in that
That's
village.
true. There's not a lot of people there.
There's not a lot of
It's an
genetic
interrelated
diversity.
Yeah, you have to dress up, what's his name, in
Nagi.
the sacrificial outfit. He's passed
yeah.
out. Because the legend says that he disguised himself as the sacrifice. But we realize that no, he's just passed out drunk and we have to dress him up ourselves and carry his passed out corpse.
Yep, we carry his passed out corpse with us, and we go back and we fucking fight Orochi again.
Again!
This game likes to repeat a boss.
It absolutely does. But now we learn what really happened, which is that we fight Orochi all by ourselves with no help from this legendary hero. And then who should show up but us?
Yeah, us, but with tentacles. It's Tentacle Us.
It's
Why
Tentacle
does-
Us.
It's Shinryui or whatever the fucking name is. It's past us because we're reborn us? Oh, I don't know, man.
Past Us shows up, and Past Us has Grandpa Village Chief. Isune's
Little
grandpa.
Punkle. Yeah, the little Punkle.
And we fight the dragon or whatever it is, Hydra, and
Hydra.
And then eventually the hero does help us, but just at the very end. And then a rock is about to fall onto us, and we're saved by ourself. Who
I thought this part was pretty touching. I like this part.
tell us more about why and how.
It was nice to see because it kind of brought the legend full circle of the original wolf, dying in the cave, sacrificed itself for Nagi.
It had tentacles.
Yeah,
Oh, and also
it did. What was up with that?
the little girl who we were looking for is here. She is in the sacrificial position. And what's his dork with his silver sword
Do you
shows
think-
up, and
I have a
he's
question
useless.
for
Yes.
Vanessa. Do you think that this is what happened? Or do you think
Yes.
that we interrupted what happened and did it ourselves?
No, I think we're living in Lost Rules here, where whatever happened, happened.
Okay. That's not how I interpreted it. I interpreted it that we went back in the past and, interposed ourselves. Because Nagi, we knocked Nagi out accidentally by, scaring him or something. I don't remember. So I was like, uh-oh, Nagi probably isn't supposed to be asleep. He's probably supposed to be going up to Orochi's temple.
Right, we fight him.
Like Back to the Future rules. We had to go, we went back to the past, and then we started fucking things up and had to fix it.
No, I totally disagree. I think that this is always what happened.
Jim,
It always happened this way.
who's right?
I think I'm with Vanessa here.
Okay. Listeners, write in. Do you think the thing I asked?
Are we doing Back to the Future? You can go to the future and it will be changed due to your past actions?
Pass.
Or are we doing Lost? Whatever happened, happened. And just because you're not aware of what actually happened in the past doesn't mean that you weren't there fucking around in the past.
Lost is not a cultural touchstone for me, so that doesn't work. Can you find a better version of that I can relate to?
The Time Traveler's Wife?
Time Crimes. Have you seen Time Crimes?
What's the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis?
Looper.
Looper.
What a good movie that is.
Yeah, that is a great movie, except for Joseph Gordon-Levitt's weird plastic chin.
And his weird plastic forehead.
Yeah.
And his weird plastic nose.
And, you know, the fact that Bruce Willis hasn't actually acted in a movie in fucking 30 years.
Remember that scene where, like, Paul Dano's limbs start falling off while he's trying to make his way to that bar?
That's good stuff.
Oh, that's such a good scene. Oh, no, it's Paul Dano's, like, future guy, not Paul Dano.
Yeah, so I guess
All right.
that doesn't work for the kind of time travel I'm trying to describe.
No, it doesn't. It does
Yeah.
not.
I love time travel stuff.
Oh, me too. I was very
sure that
happy we
there
were
are-
time traveling.
I'm sure there are great examples of what you're talking about as well, and I just cannot think of one.
Yeah, Lost.
In the time
yeah,
machine, he learns that it's inevitable that his fiancée gets killed. Right? Because he builds a time machine to go back and save her, and then he saves her, and then in the movie, she hilariously gets run over by a carriage.
But that's more of a Final Destination situation. This is just the question of, if you go back in time, can you change the past at all, or is anything you do predestined to happen?
It's not that it's predestined, it's that you already did it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that movie with Ethan.
if you did it before you did it, then it's
Predetermination, that
predestined.
Ethan Hawke movie, where he plays like a time travel agent.
I think that those Final Destination kids are brats. Like, if you come to realize that there's such a thing as a conscientious embodiment of death who has some kind of plan, and, like, wouldn't you then assume the existence of God and that they were somehow working in tandem? And
I
you
don't
should
think
just
so.
go with it, right?
But
Like, give yourself over to a higher power.
They never
they
make
did
it seem like it's a Christian thing. It's
they-
always Tony Todd talking about death.
Did they say that Death had a plan? I think Death was just claiming people that escaped fate.
They call it death's design in those
Death's
movies
design,
or whatever.
yeah.
but wasn't there a good force trying to help them too? Like, wasn't there a good?
there?
No, they built up rule. Well, yeah, there is, because that that good force is what gives them clues or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are like rules they built up in the series, like if there's a life born, then it resets, which is why they saved the pregnant lady in like the third one or something. I don't know.
You know what?
It kind of stops making sense.
Yeah. It didn't make sense in the first place. Anyway.
It did when Devon Sawa did it.
So, where did we get to? We fought Orochi. We learned that we are the past. Shin Ryu sacrificed themselves for us. And then we go back to the future with the child.
With the child.
Yeah, with the fucking child.
We're with child.
Lila.
Oh yeah.
Lila's back, and we needed her because she is the only other person that can perform the like volcano dance that will make the volcano explode and unfreeze the village. But because the elder can't do it because he's old.
But Oki, so I was really annoyed at fighting Orochi again. Then Oki comes in and wants to fight it, but Oki almost gets killed, except that then Nagi saves him, but then Nagi almost gets killed, but then other Shiranui saves Nagi. It gets very complicated here.
Yeah.
I guess fully powered up 100-year-old Shiranui comes in. And we know that Shiranui dies in this fight, but we like something. It doesn't seem that difficult. So, something's weird. But anyway, we realize we got to take the girl back in time. So we do. Girl goes back in time with us. And then she's safe. We bring her back to the village. She's very happy to be there. And but everyone is upset because the door blocking off the entrance to those twin mountains outside the village, the volcanoes that warm up the village once a year. Then she's supposed to be the one that saves the village by doing her volcano chant, right? That the gate has opened, allowing bad guys into the village. And Ōkami has stormed ahead into this gate to go fight the owls, I guess. I guess it's owls.
They just call them two demons.
But they're owls.
They're like mechanical owls.
Yeah.
Yeah, clockwork owls. And I love them.
They are wonderful. I would love clockwork versions of those. They're very cute. One has a top hat and a monocle.
Yeah.
Vanessa loves it. That's her sound of glee. Or she just fell off a building. One of the two. So we have to immediately help this village for some reason. So we go through this gate and into the final real dungeon of the game, I would say. The last real dungeon of the game, the ice dungeon. I mostly didn't have a super hard time with this. There's a couple of tricky jumps that I had to do a couple of times to get right. But I did. So you're going through, and then there's just this slot machine, this ancient slot machine. This is a different civilization has built this temple, basically. That they say this isn't from our tribe, the Onan tribe, something like that. This is a different tribe that built this, and it seems pretty high tech. Like this slot machine, it's full of like Zelda style glowing magic rock, and it's a slot machine. And I just thought the point of the slot machine was to get all the heads facing up, and I was trying that for half an hour, and I probably would have kept doing it until Jim and Matthew told me, hey, go check out that room you unlocked.
Yeah,
there.
I was like, have you looked at that floor diagram yet?
Sometimes
It's more than a slot machine. It's a giant record player with a slot machine on it.
Oh.
And like out of its trumpet, it's shooting out this big blizzard.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. And so you have to stop the monster faces in certain pattern as reflected in the floor in the room next to you that you bomb open. And once you see that pattern, it's a lot easier. And you can use your timey magic and kind of get it right pretty easily. And then then finally that was it 13th brush technique? That's the one we were waiting for.
Yeah.
Yes,
We
the final
finally
brush
get it.
technique.
And it is ice. I forget do you remember what the creature was? Was it?
It was a cow. Big bull.
Oh,
It was
that's
a bull.
right. Ice bull.
Yeah.
The ice bull gives you frosty magic. And
Ice Bull gives you wings.
What do they call those cows that have like the big chest thing? Are those Brahmin? Or is it called Brahmin in Skyrim?
It's
Brahma,
called
baby.
Skyrim,
Bra
I
something.
think.
It's called Brahmin
Yeah.
in Fallout for sure.
Oh, Fallout. That's what I was thinking of.
You're talking about those boob cows, busty cows.
Yeah, busty cows. Yeah,
They
that's
call
what
them
they're called.
Moo-my Milkers.
They really do in the furry community. You should.
I
I've
tried
got
to
some
Google
art I can share
Busty
with
Cow. I tried to Google Busty Cow just to see if it would actually come up with the cow, and it did not.
you. Anyway, so that cow gives you your last brush technique, which is just to attach ice to things, just like water and fire. And this allows you to freeze some platforms and stuff. You do a little bit more platforming, and then you get to the very tippity top, and an owl comes to attack you. However, you're not alone, because during this fight, who comes to help you but Ōkami, who thinks he's going to be the hero, and past Shiranui for some reason.
Tentacle doggy again.
Yeah, fully powered up tentacle doggy. The doggy's got its weird tentacles out. You fight this boss, but then like the other one comes in and you got to fight both of them, and it's a fun. I really like this boss battle.
It's super fun. Yeah.
Definitely way better than the Orochi one. You only do this boss fight once. However, the Orochi one.
Well, not
we've already
really.
done
You do the fight with the silver owl and you beat it.
That's true. That's true.
Shinryui shows up and helps you kick its ass and starts like doing their own brush magic, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And, but then the gold owl shows up and freezes time and stabs you, but then Shinryui like jumps in its place and takes the stab.
Doesn't it go to stab the other wolf because the other wolf gets frozen because it leaps at it?
Yeah. He's trying.
Oki.
Yeah. Shiranui saves Oki.
Yeah.
And then also at the same time, Isun realizes that's his grandfather there riding on Shiranui, which I don't know if he knew.
I loved that. Well, he figures that out in the Orochi fight, or is it the end of this fight?
Okay.
I thought it was the Orochi fight.
You're right, it's the Orochi fight. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're about to run out of the cave, and his grandfather, what's his name? What's his grandfather's name?
Don't ask us questions
I don't remember.
like that.
But he's like, "Get out of here!" Like, run, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's my grandfather."
Yeah.
And
Anyway, then they vanish, but you like hit them. They drops a cog.
Yep.
Well, Shiranui is hanging off the edge of the cliff, and you are like holding on to her, and then that guy wants to chase after the owls. He's like, finally, it's my chance to get them. And then he
That's right,
notices that
Oki.
a tree is about to fall down on you, and he looks at the owl, and he looks at the tree, and he looks at the owl, and he looks at the tree. And he looks at his sword, and he looks at the owl, and he looks at the tree, and he looks at his sword, and he looks at the owl, and he looks at the tree. And finally, you see him raise his sword to strike, and he cuts down the tree so it doesn't fall on you.
Yay! And this makes his sword glow silver. The sword was waiting for him to not be selfish and to act like a hero this whole time.
Sure, that makes sense.
So
This is like the third magical sword in the game. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
and
There's
it's hard
a
to
lot.
keep
A
track.
lot of magical swords.
Like Isun's grandfather has his own magical sword. Isun has a magical sword. We see Nagi's magical sword. Nagi's very surprised when we moon
that
magic it.
blight
There's
boss had a
there's
magic
a
sword.
black boss that is a magical sword.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of magical
Game
swords.
likes magic swords.
Yeah. So,
Well, you
Now
put it in that
that-
context. I actually kind of like it.
yeah. Then you defeat the owls. I forget what happens here. Does he just
You have
do
to
fight
go-
them again?
You do. You have to. You go through the cog door, and there's like some cannons and shit, and you climb up. It's short. It's not a second
that's
dungeon.
right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was afraid it was
You
going to be
gotta-
a second dungeon, but it's not.
You do cross that cannon land, and
When you fight them both, instead of the other wolf, you have Oki as a wolf, and you shoot Oki at the bosses like an arrow, and that's pretty.
That's
fucking
Oh
awesome.
yeah, that was fun. That
You
was
like
a
have to
good
hit their
boss fight.
attack. This is what I think. This is my favorite boss fight of the game. The two
There's some
owls.
really good boss
You
fights.
hit there are, but there's also some really fucking shitty ones.
Yeah.
So it's real hit or miss. Because Orochi and the spider are garbage. Anyway, but this one you are hitting their attacks back at them. It really felt fucking fun and cool. This was great. And then when you like hit an attack back, you can fire Oki off at them, and then you can go fucking lay into them. It's not
Yeah.
tough.
They crash
But
head
it's fun.
first. That's pretty fun. So you defeat them. Shiranui is mortally wounded, unfortunately, and
But Shiranui died in the past.
yes, but that's why Shiranui then goes back to the past, where you see Shiranui get picked up by Nagi, and therefore fulfilling the cycle of what actually happened.
When does
and
that
also, that's in like the art. You get some. I think you probably skipped it. It was all like ink drawings of it, of Nagi like carrying the wolf back and the bloody wolf. And there's some.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
There's some really nice art.
There was There was a really great drawing after the Orochi fight of like a skinless Orochi.
Yeah, cut in half
and you
and
could
see
see
his
its brain. Yeah,
Oh, that was
it was
gnarly.
really neat.
Yeah, so Shiranui, mortally wounded, taken back to the village, and that's where Shiranui gets turned into the statue and all that. And so like the circle of time is complete, and now we go back to the village, and finally Leela is able to do her volcano song to get the volcanoes to launch, and then the sword, I guess, glows, and that's why the ship comes out of the water. Is that what happens?
The sword is glowing and opening the path to the heavens. It is shattering the ice wall, which was not a wall, but was in fact the lake of ice, and it opens the rainbow path to the ship that is now floating in the air.
The Ark of Yamato.
Nice. So, hey.
Let's get on there.
Yeah,
now
let's
you can
go
finish
get
up.
Power/2.
Yeah, this is where Matthew's like, you gotta get your power slashes, buddy. So I got my
I didn't
power
tell
slash.
you how to do that. You
No,
asked me
no.
how to break the diamond
Yeah.
rocks, and I told you how. That was it.
Yeah. So I got my power
And then
slash 1
I
and 2.
took you to the Power/3, and you couldn't get in there, and I was like, you don't even have fucking Power/2, dude.
So I got all those, and I finished up the Waka thing with the thief. That was fun.
Waka,
And
waka,
then
waka.
I was
Right.
like, let's do it. And there's a lot more stuff I could do, but I was like, let's just finish this dumb game. So I finished the game. I couldn't stream the ending though, because basically as soon as you get on
yeah.
the ship, the game's like, no streamy. This 15-year-old game. Anyway, so we now are going into the Rainbow Road, and as we walk up it, Waka shows up and he's like, I told you I was waiting for the path to the heavens, and here it is. So I'm gonna join you. It's you and me now, and we're gonna go and attack or find out what happened together. Except that Issun's like, yeah, well, I don't want to do this. I just want to learn the brush techniques. I learned my brush techniques, so I don't want to go. And then Waka's like, yeah, fine, leave. You couldn't go in here anyways. You're not good enough. And then Issun like tries to go in, and he can't. He's not good
it seems
enough.
like, I'll show you I am good enough. But Waka's sort of like, you know why you can't go, Celestial Envoy. And he's like, maybe I do.
What did this mean?
I'll tell you when we get to the end.
Okay. I mean, I know we
So-
talked about the grandfather saying like someone was going to have to be chosen to be the next celestial envoy
Uh-huh.
and all that. Anyway,
Yep.
So Waka and you, so Issun like pouts and leaves, and it was sad. Bye.
That was
But
not
Waka
sad.
Waka has one more parting prophecy, and this might be my favorite part of the game. Waka says, here's my final prophecy for you, Issun. He's like looking down from the ship. Amaretsu is standing next to him, and he goes, it takes two to tango. And he
Oh yeah.
grabs Ōkami by her paws and stands her up, but like he's dancing with her. And they both turn their heads towards the camera, and it goes boing, and confetti shoots off all around them. And I loved it so much.
Beautiful. What a beautiful moment.
The nice thing about this final dungeon is that it is just a boss rush, so it is super fucking easy and fast.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be even powered up from their original iterations.
No, they're really not.
One-shot one of these guys, legitimately.
What-
It
I
fucking
two-shotted that
slayed
one,
me.
and I felt the one, I think it was the sword, right? I didn't quite get enough.
Oh, yeah, me
hit
too.
in.
The sword.
I
It
was-
was the sword.
I was using the powered up like solar shield thing that I got from Shiranui, and that was like that. The gold dust on it did tons of damage.
Oh yeah. I beat the. Well, you can buy an updated
Rosary.
set of beads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, but like I almost one-shotted Blight, and then I beat the Crimson Helm really quickly too.
My strategy at the end of this game was a mixture of slamming the attack button and power slashing everything every 3 seconds. Like, not when I say slamming the fucking button, I mean as soon as the animation ended and it would let me do it again, I would do it. So I learned that you can kill things really fucking fast. If you
With the rosary, you can just hold down that button too.
I
You just
know,
hold
but
it
you can
down.
also slip power slashes in between as well,
wow.
and it wrecks things. It destroys shit.
Yeah, so we should talk about all the
some
bosses
things
in the
would,
boss
like,
rush, right?
You'd take off so much damage that it would be like, okay, that's enough, and that would be it. But particularly these end bosses, like, you can mix it up and just crush stuff. Anyway, Jim.
So we go through all the boss fights from the game thus far, but no, I was kind of hoping there'd be another owl boss fight. There's not.
Oh, you know what? So glad. I didn't need another one.
But we get spider boss fight again.
Spider boss fight's annoying.
Orochi a third time.
At least you don't have to do the
Third time
slashes at the
Orochi.
end. The fucking slashes at the end were the worst part of the Orochi fights.
Oh yeah, you don't have to do that. Yeah, there's no Susano part. And there's Blight. There's Crimson Helm. And we fight Ninetales again.
I like Ninetales. Ninetales was my other favorite fight of the game.
Yeah, it's a great fight.
Yeah, for sure.
And with that, it opens up the path. And also, for each of these boss rooms, you do talk to a Celestial who sort of explains the whole
There's like a
plot.
Celestial every other one, right?
No, everyone, I think, has a Celestial. And they're like, okay, so there was the Moon Tribe. They flew this to pick up the Celestials, this ark to save the Celestials who were being attacked by monsters. But it turned out the ark was full of monsters. And the Moon
Yeah.
one Moon Tribe person survived, and it's very heavily implied to be Waka is the one Moon Tribe person who survived, and all the Celestials were killed, and so you're talking to like the ghosts of the Celestials, and they don't get to stick around to see you defeat the evil. They're like, oh no, and they all disappear. 'Cause
I thought this was like super cool lore. I really appreciated these lore dumps. I thought they were really well done. You got great art along with them too, which was really, really fun to look at. I dug this part a lot. I wasn't crazy about the boss gauntlet. Like I did not think that was super well done. Just like copy and pasting fights from earlier in the game. I thought was
I
kind of lame.
agree with you, but on the other hand, like if it had been another dungeon, I would have fucking died.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that.
How do you feel about
but I did like the lore.
the gods, like the Shinto gods being ancient aliens? Seems to be what
They're not the
it's getting
gods.
at.
They're the celestial beings. They're the astrological calendar animals.
Yeah, they're-
No, there's like hundreds of them that were killed, right?
Yeah. Well, but
I think it's
that
interesting. If it was done, if this was
It's-
a fucking American game, I think it would be way more problematic. But let's be real.
It's
This
fine.
is a Japanese game. They're talking about Japanese legends and mythology and religion, and it's actually pretty cool. It's one of the most
I don't
interesting things about
know-
the game, other than
Yeah, I
the
don't know
4-hour
that-
cutscenes where they're all just like, hello. Like there's like none of them
So-
are interesting. That's the problem. It's all just like
So
this
is
one's a
there-
badger.
Is there like pseudo sci-fi? I don't want to say pseudo, but is there like
I don't think there's
sci-fi
elements
stuff
in Japanese mythology.
that's in
no.
Japanese folklore, like where people
No,
coming
I
from
think-
the stars
I
and stuff?
think this is mixing like the chariots, the Chariot of the Gods, the book from the 70s, saying like all these stories
Yes,
from the
yeah.
Bible were obviously aliens. Like it's the ancient aliens.
One
kind
of the
thing.
most popular books of all time, right?
Yeah.
Chariots of the Gods. Yeah.
And so it's sort of taking that but applying it to the Shinto beliefs, and I think that's interesting and it works well.
That is interesting, and I think the like all the stuff with the Moon Tribe and the stuff in the stars adds like to me it's really goofy and it adds like a really kind of fun goofy element
But
to
it's
this
also
that I really
sad.
liked.
Like the reason Waka is doing this is because he feels terrible for what happened. Like
But also Waka's like a goofy character. It's like
Yeah.
it's weird these two sides of it that they balance out. I like it.
So who was the one watching Waka through the telescope? Was that the Foxtails? Remember there was a mysterious
I
woman's
think it was
voice?
the Empress because
Or
he
was it-
was working for her.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so he was working for Himiko and trying to get back to the celestial plane, I guess. So, final.
This game has the best ending too, FYI. I love the ending.
This
of
is
this game.
some real
was really
Thor
good.
shit, just so that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
some Marvel Comics Thor shit. The
Especially
Ark of the
the Rainbow
Gods
Road.
and the Celestial Plane and the Rainbow Road. It's pretty interesting, actually. Like it is the same idea, and all that Thor stuff from Marvel Comics is also straight out of Charity to the Gods.
So, final boss time. It is an evil orb. And
It's a ball.
Yomi.
You fight a
Yep.
goddamn giant ball.
but then the ball's like, it takes away the sun. And because there's also an eclipse
Takes away all
happening.
your powers.
Yeah,
It
because
does.
there's
This
also an
boss fight
eclipse
blows.
happening.
Just so that we're all
it
on the
takes
same
away-
I like it. I liked getting your
All
your
your
powers
powers.
back like incrementally.
And it's about to defeat poor Shiranui, as you're just a dog, so you don't even have your celestial weapons or anything, or your divine instruments. And it looks like all is lost. But then there's a sudden voice. Issun is there. And he has been real busy in this past 20 minutes going around the world.
It was a boss
Yeah.
rush. It probably took days. It took me 15 fucking minutes.
He's been going around the world reminding people about Shiranui and all the legends and building up faith. And that is what everyone starts praising the gods, including Jumbo, the big bird.
He's like chirp.
Yeah, he gets like Freddy Krueger powers, where the more people who believe
Yeah.
in you, the stronger you are.
I don't
Exactly.
think of that as Freddy Krueger powers, but
no,
yes.
Jim's right. That's officially Freddy Krueger
That's
powers.
that's the plot of Freddy versus Jason.
and the plot of Night. What's the new Nightmare?
Well, he's like a
Yeah, he's
demon in New Nightmare, right?
And the way to keep him chained up was through
Is
the
to tell
movies.
stories about him.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of the plot of
In my
American
mind-
Gods, too.
In my mind, that's
Oh, yeah,
more
that's
of a
right.
Terry Pratchett thing with that was definitely the Tinkerbell-esque nature of the gods I remember being introduced to with Terry Pratchett, for sure.
Oh, that's right. That's also kind of the plot of the movie The Empty Man.
Oh. So,
We may have seen it before, but we haven't seen it here.
It's
and
still
No,
this is
never in
why.
a video game.
This is why Issun could not go on the ship. What Waka was getting at, like saying, like, you know why you can't go, because Issun had to stay behind to spread the legend of Ōkami.
and this game proves nothing is more powerful than thoughts and prayers.
I mean, to me, I said it already, but to me, it's a real like Tinkerbell thing that it makes me think of, and that I don't know, man. It just I never like it when it shows up.
Why is
I
Jim's
liked
webcam
it.
pointed right at his bed? It's like perfectly framed.
Yeah, you're right. He's using that for a reason. Why was he asking us about mammograms today? You know what? These things may be related.
He just needs to move that mic out of the way and flop on down.
Hang on.
Jim's coming back.
Jim, we like your porn setup.
Yep.
My porn setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Never mind.
Look at the angle of your camera.
Yeah, when you're not in the frame of your camera, it's just your bed. Like perfectly framed.
Where else am I supposed to? My camera's in the corner. Where else is it supposed to look at?
Is that what you tell your girlfriend when she comes over and you film her?
Why is the light?
Well, I don't
us-
tell her anything.
show us your
it just
drawer
means
of
it's power.
Were you guys commenting on how nice my bed is because I make it all the time?
Is
I
that bed
did
made?
notice it was made, which
No.
seemed weird to me.
It looks like it
because
just doesn't
what-
have a blanket or anything on it. It looks
My
like
bed's
a bare
always
mattress.
made.
What kind of single person makes their own bed?
You know how nice it is to sleep in a bed that's made to crawl into a nice
I made
tucked
mine
in,
last night.
made bed?
I did
That's
make
such a
mine
weird
last
thing
night
to say.
before bed.
I've
And
been
no,
making
it's so
mine
nice to
because I
crawl
want
into
my
a made
children
bed.
to do it. So I'm trying to set a good example.
I got
But
a
I forget
weighted
half the
blanket
time.
on there. Can you guys imagine how nice it's going to be to crawl into that bed later? Weighted blanket, nice
Oh,
and
yeah,
made.
yeah, that's what I did too.
Sheets, nice and cool.
That
Oh
sounds
man,
terrible.
you guys have
I'm the type
no
of person
idea.
that sleeps with his blanket on one leg. I don't want anything touching me. You know what's funny is that I'll be sitting in my room and I'll be freezing all night long. And the minute I get into bed, I'm like, Whew! So hot.
All
Anyway,
right.
we fight the
Last
slug
boss.
sphere. It's a sphere.
It's a sphere, like the movie Sphere.
It takes all your powers, and the more you hit it, the more powers
Or
that you
the
get back.
end of
And it has a few phases. One of them, it grows little hands
Final
and
Fantasy
eyes, and that's kind of fun. I think it has a little man in it. A little man in a
yeah, it has a
fishbowl.
little bug man. A little bug man.
This is
It
a
also
sin
turns into a
situation.
slot
This is
machine.
a Final Fantasy X situation. The final boss is a little bug.
John, was that a Necron reference, John, that you
Yeah.
made with Final Fantasy IX?
Yeah, and Alma or whatever the big sphere
Oh,
is.
right. That's the super boss.
Yeah.
It turns
Why
into
can't we
a slot
replay Final
machine
Fantasy IX?
at one
Said
point.
that
Oh,
for
yeah.
years. We should do it again. We've got Vanessa. We know how to do the show now. That first season should not count. We should delete it off the fucking feed.
Delete it off the internet, replace it with a new version of playing Final Fantasy IX, and just don't say anything to the listeners about it.
We should number the episodes the same and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then leave the season 2 in where she's like, I guess I decide I'm here now. This is my first time being on the show, and we'll just.
Do we
never
have to
explain
pretend
it.
it's early 2016? We're like, Hillary, we're so
No,
excited.
thank you.
Oh no, I can't live that again.
Play Secret of Mana again too?
I'm
just
just
saying.
finally starting to rebuild myself, John. Let's not go back there.
What was our third season?
Final Fantasy X.
Wow, really?
We played 10 that early?
we
No
did
way.
not. We just played it a few years ago.
Yeah. 7.
We're coming up on our 7th anniversary, guys. Did you know that?
Jesus.
Well, I don't want to play Final Fantasy X
Yeah.
again, but I recommend as a special, I don't know, 350th episode bonus, we redo Final Fantasy IX and Secret of Mana and just replace them in the feed.
That would be a lot of work. I'm happy
We could
to
do Final
play
Fantasy
those
now
games.
in half the episodes.
But that wouldn't work because we're replacing them, right?
Yep, slowly replacing them without announcing it to
No,
anyone.
you're right, because we can't do the replacing thing, but that's okay. All right, fuck it. Yami the Sphere Slug.
Sphere Slug. So it's Yami, the Dark Lord. I feel like Yami's like that one with the girlfriend they talk about in Persona. Remember? Isayami
What?
and Izagaki or whatever. I don't know. I'm just thinking this is something in Persona.
Which persona are you talking about?
Like all of them? I don't know.
Like the end boss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think especially in is it 5 that has a
I've
boss that
never
looks
finished-
just like this?
I've never finished 5.
Oh, maybe it's 4 then that has like a big spherical boss that's just like this. I think it is 4 actually. It's like Death Incarnate or whatever.
So, big ball transform. Big ball sometimes slot machine, but this you can sort of use the slot machine to attack itself or like eject the little ball inside like a prize.
Yeah.
I love that part.
I didn't like the slot machine, but I did like the robot when it became like
Yeah,
a fat,
that was-
big
that
round
was fun.
robot. I like that part.
So you slowly get all your abilities back. It sucked up all your divine brush techniques, but you slowly get them back one by one, and then once you get electricity, it's all over. It's all over for Yami.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Because you can just zap the balls out of it. And then it's dead. You
Just zap
punish
the balls out
that
of it.
little guy and then you
That little guy.
So what happens once you punish that little guy? I don't remember.
Well, Waka had been trying to defend you when you were depowered, and he got hit a whole bunch and fell off the edge of a cliff. So obviously he's gone forever. Just kidding, he's back. So he comes back and he's like, hey, great job. You finally defeated it, but, the celestial plane is still overcome with monsters, so it's time for us to fly away in this ship together and cleanse the celestial plane and retake your home. And then Ōkami jumps up and starts licking him on the face. And he goes, stop, you're going to lick me to death. And then they fly off together into the sunset.
That's a pretty clear setup for a sequel that we never got, actually. And I think that could be interesting because there's a natural reason for you to lose all your powers and shit and have to get a new set of abilities because you're not on Earth anymore and the celestial beings aren't with you.
Mm-hmm. And you can have a new companion instead of stupid Itsu. Although we do
soon.
see...
Stick around.
We see Soon, he's down on Earth, and he's like,
Oh, really?
"Ha you say that I can't go to the celestial plane, but
I'm going to kill myself and show you.
But I know I can do whatever I put my mind to, so you just wait. I'm coming for you."
Weird. Please don't. You're a creep. But other than that, I'd play a sequel to this game, I guess. Oh, no.
There's that DS one.
Matt likes it. Matt
There's a
likes
DS
it.
sequel to this?
Yeah, Ōkami Den. You're playing like a puppy.
Yeah, but it's like it's not a true sequel, is it? It's just in the world.
I don't know. I'd have listeners tell us about Ōkami Den. Although Matthew is
Yeah,
not
I don't
going
know.
to play a 3DS or a DS game.
It hurts his
No, it
little
hurts my
fingers.
fucking little fingers. Even the Switch hurts my
His
fingers.
little tummies, his little thumb-thumbs.
I'm getting old, guys. Okay? It's
So-
called
You have a
arthritis.
Switch Pro controller. Just play with that.
I don't.
That's how I play Switch games.
You're right.
Pro controller.
I generally would, but I need to move the Switch base into my own space.
Or you could put it up on its little dock and then just use your Pro controller with that.
Put it
You
on
know,
this
it's not the
little
dock,
and-
the little stand.
The little kickstand.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put it on
Yeah,
the
I've done that.
stand.
That's a good idea.
You
I'll
don't
try
have
that.
to use
Yeah.
it with the TV.
Also, that like little base is so mobile. It's so easy to move from TV to TV. I
Yeah.
like how I can just move it around everywhere.
I took that little thing out of state with me on a trip and plugged
Me
it in at the
too.
Airbnb.
I took
Rocked
mine to
out.
Portland last week.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I plugged it into my hotel room TV.
Nice.
Fun fact, Portland is where I bought my Switch.
Whoa. Synergy.
All right, so Ōkami flies off to the celestial plane where she will protect everybody, and everything is great for the land of Japan. And that's the end of our story.
The world as you know it. It's the.
I like this ending. It's like, it's not often you get a super hopeful ending.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is just like so positive.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like, you know what? Things have been bad, but everything's going to be A-okay.
There were times when I
like
thought
that.
this was like a post-apocalypse, and this was all that
Me
was
too.
left of the
Yeah.
Earth.
Boy, like, especially when you saw like Waka's computer screens or whatever, it's like, what's going on here? But like, I liked that they kind of had their own like kind of cosmology, and also ended on the super hopeful note. It's really neat. I like it.
And I want to give a special shout out to the art that you unlock after beating this game. I don't know if any of you went in and looked at it, but if you look at the monster scroll that you can access on the menu screen,
Oh, I've seen a couple of those.
Well,
it's
it's
so cool.
one continuous scroll of like all
Oh,
of
really?
the monster artwork in the
Oh,
game.
that's neat.
Yeah, and it has this great music, and you can scroll it at your own pace, and you can pop up information if you want to, or you can just look at the art. And it has this very sort of traditional sounding Japanese music. It's really, really cool. Like really
One
great
thing that's great about this game is that like everything is so lovingly rendered. Like every character looks unique. There's a ton of different enemy types, and they're all named. They all have these really interesting designs. Like this is just such a neat game to look at. And I'll say the same thing about Live Alive too. Is the sprite art there is just incredible. Like it's
We're not talking about
cool
Live Alive. We're talking about
I know,
Ōkami.
but I'm saying we're playing a lot of really
we're
good looking
playing-
games in a row.
Yeah, we're playing the Live Alive remake though, which is like 3D, 2D.
Yeah,
style.
but like it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, with Ōkami, the art style aged so well. Like the game looked amazing when it
totally.
came out. It still looks great now. Like they didn't really have to make many changes to it to make it look good in on an HD TV at 4K. It's it's a very pretty game.
The kind of lo-fi papery look of it just looks so good.
I set
looks
that
awesome.
paper effect to maximum to really get the paper feeling from it, and that works really well too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, your feed looked really good on Twitch.
Yeah. All right. I don't think there's really any bullshit minigames to cover. I think we kind of... I know I did the race where you have to shoot, but I guess that's kind of a minigame where you have to like zap them with the correct thing. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a
And you
minigame.
defeated the ultimate blockhead.
I didn't do
And
that.
I
I didn't do that thief thing, and I watched you do it, and it looked fucking tough.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky.
Yeah, yeah. Especially the last leg of it. John, watching you do the blockhead was legitimately impressive.
Well, I was using my
You-
phone the second
But
time.
still,
What do you mean,
the fact
but still?
that you
He cheated.
But he did it not. So I told John. I commented this in his Twitch stream. I was like, if you do this in less than 5 tries, I will eat my shoe. You luckily didn't. But I don't think it was more than like 8 tries.
Yeah, it wasn't that
Which,
many.
like, even still, if you're using your phone, it's very precise. The
Yeah.
fact that you still did it, pretty impressive.
Thank you.
How about the fact that I'm the one who came up with that particular trick and told Johnny about it?
I think
was
you're all
a
a bunch
very
of
good
cheaters,
trick,
and I have
Vanessa.
no respect for any of you.
Wow. Okay. All right, so
I
Matthew,
did the blockheads by myself, but I didn't do that one because it was too hard.
are you roundly for or squarely
no.
against?
I have to go first?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm roundly on the fence. I disliked a big old chunk of this game, and I thought it was very slow and boring. It did have some really great moments, for sure. And so, whether I'm roundly for or squarely against it, it comes down to like, could I recommend it to someone? And I feel like it would be like a real hard, like, recommend, but with caveats. But if you're fucking in the mood for like it's not hard because the game is hard, but it's difficult because the game is poorly designed or made in spots. Maybe it's just a lot of it's just being an artifact of the time. But that slow camera never got any better, and it continued to frustrate me throughout the fucking game. And that's just a big old negative that is hard for me to get over. But there were a few great spots, so fucking triangularly squibbranced. Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
That's me. I'm roundly for this game. I think it's really fun. It has some pacing problems, and the camera sucks, especially when you have to point it at specific things to get the inking right.
Oh, totally.
Or in the Toby races, that's another. Any of the races in the game are rough because the camera's so bad. But overall, it's a very good game. I want to play. It's one that I definitely see myself playing again, and I can't say that about a lot of these games. Like, I'm really happy to have finished playing almost every game we've played, but not all of them I'm going to actually go back to. But I think this one I probably will. I think it's great. I think it's one of the best games. Vanessa.
Mm-hmm. Certain elements of this game, such as the sprite art and character work and a lot of the graphics, I would point to as being absolutely masterful.
Fabulous.
And wonderful. Like, just the pinnacle of what you can do with digital art and games, and translating these 2-dimensional, extremely traditional looking drawings into sprites. The way that all of the sprites had a hand-drawn quality to them, as if they'd been done in like Sumi ink or something like that. I thought it was great. I think that the mechanics issues keep the game itself from being a masterpiece. But I know that I've seen in some, like, they have the traveling, like, art of video game things. I've seen Ōkami included in those, and completely deserved. Like,
Oh, totally.
really, I think it's worth it if you're interested in game design or game history, not just like playing a game to play the game, but to sort of see what the genre is capable of. That Ōkami is worth playing, despite some of the difficulties of navigating it. So I'm really, really glad that we played it for the show. It's a game I talked about at the beginning of the series. I had never finished. I'm happy to have finished it. Makes me feel like a real good gamer girl. How about you, Jim?
So this is a game that's always kind of been on my radar as being like a real like critical darling that I just never thought I had time for. And now that I've played it, I think like it's kind of, I think when it was released, it was kind of ahead of its time, because I think like if it, just a couple quality of life updates to this game
Like
would
not
make
being a
it,
Wii game.
if it was released this year, would probably be like almost game of the year. Like if you add a run button, if you add like all the stuff that we were annoyed by, the ability to skip dialogue, if you fix like the slow camera swing, if you fix that, this becomes like an incredible game, even by today's standards. The art is great. It looks great. A couple quality of life updates would make it play like you would want, like a real modern game to play.
A couple script tweaks, maybe.
Yeah,
Throw out the
100%.
misogyny.
take out all the take out all that for sure.
I don't know
But,
that
like-
you can do
like,
that. That's half of the
You
fucking
can get
dialogue
rid
in the
of
game.
it soon.
Make Isun a woman, or just have a little more fun with that. I think like you can make Isun a perv, but have a little more. Just modernize it a little bit. But like. I like the game overall. It just like a few tweaks to it would make it just even essential by today's standards. So like I think it's a great game, and I'm really glad that we played it, and I had a really good time with it. And it, like John said, it's one that I can imagine myself going back and playing again. Especially now that I understand all the mechanics, I could probably have an even better time with it. And there is a New Game Plus, which I'm like a huge fan of. Mm-hmm. All games should have a New Game Plus.
New Game Plus.
I disagree with that sentiment. A game should be made to be played once and then totally forgotten about forever. And certainly not 350 episodes worth of talking about them. They're disposable trash. Video games are the penny novels of our generation.
And yet we spent thousands of hours talking about them.
I mean, let's be honest. It's more about the fact that we like to talk to each other.
True.
We like to talk to each other. We like to have a good time. We like to have a book club. But we don't like books. We like video games.
That's all good points. All right. I think that's everybody. And I think that's everything. There's no emails because nobody loves us. So why doesn't somebody named Jim Banks discuss the Patreon?
Oh, hey,
So
wait. Before we do that, can we talk about where we're playing to on Live Alive?
What a great suggestion.
Oh, that's right. So I mentioned this on last episode, but for the next game, which is Live Alive, we're going to play through the whole game chronologically, which means we are starting with Pre-history and then playing Ancient China. And that's what we're going to do for the first chunker. You guys cool with that?
Yeah, I'd say it's about 2.5 hours per chapter, which seems like a reasonable pace to keep for the series.
John,
And
one light warning. Do grind. Grind. Yes.
Grind.
In the
There was
first chapter, you need to. The second one.
In the first chapter, there was, the second chapter makes you do it. In the first chapter, there was a boss fight halfway through that I got myself trapped in and thought I might have to restart the game because I had not bothered to grind at all and was only like level 3 or 4, and it was a one-on-one that I could not get out of. And I only got through it by cheesing it with the fart power.
The fart
The
power?
first one.
That's what I said.
The first one, from my understanding, is the most esoteric because there's no dialogue, but also there's a crafting system that you kind of have to figure out by trial and error. It's probably worth looking up that crafting system if you want to get through this in around 2 hours. But the Prehistory and Ancient China are what we were playing for our first Live Alive episode. It's weird saying Live Alive. I've been saying Live Alive for
I have no idea which is correct.
Live Alive
Me either.
is the correct pronunciation
one of our
according to an
listeners
article
was
that was
very
put
adamant
on,
about it
that
being
was
Live
posted
Alive, yeah.
onto our Facebook group. And
It
you know
was.
what? I've been saying Live Alive, and it rolls off the tongue. I like Live Alive. That's a good name. Live Alive.
I think we should
Live Alive
say
is fun.
live alive.
that's not what
Just
it is.
split the difference.
I like that too.
But that's not what it is. It's Live Alive.
Live alive. I'm gonna live alive.
All right, well, that's what we're doing for next episode.
Well, I'm drawing breath before my death. I'm gonna
Like-
live alive.
Thank you. Like I mentioned near the top of the episode, we do have a Patreon. We have a couple spooky things coming out this month. A commentary, Matt's first ever watch of the movie Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship.
That's going to be available to all of our patrons as well as...
No. That one's just a bonus episode.
I,
Well, it's going on the Patreon, isn't it?
it's going on the Patreon.
No, you
yeah.
said that. I thought you said that you wanted the other stuff other than the bonus.
No,
app.
they're both on the Patreon.
Okay. I don't know.
And then we have an extra spooky bonus coming out on the Patreon this month as well. We're all going to watch and talk about the film Barbarian.
How
which
can I
think
watch Barbarian? It's not even out yet on streaming and stuff.
Barbarian is at the time of the release of this episode in theaters, but on the 25th will be available on HBO Max.
Do we all have HBO Max?
Yes.
I believe we do.
do.
So check that out on October 25th to hear us talk about it. If you would like to become a patron, and you currently are not, you can do so at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. We're going to put all of this month's bonus at our $3 level. If you're subscribed at the $3 level, you get access to all of our sweet bonus content. At the $5 level, you get access to all that sweet content and the ability to vote on the games we play here on the show. We're going to have another vote up shortly. I think once we figure out about how many episodes Live Alive is going to be, we'll throw another vote up. That will be within the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that. Another thing we like to do for all of our podcast patrons is to personally thank them on the air. I'm going to kick us off this week by thanking Jason Timms, Stu Skeel, Butts on Parade, Jerry Schreffler, Vanessa's Gold Taco Bell PS5, Jim, oh my God, did you see Ben's hat? DP 2099, Jackie Daytona, Mark Wabug, Partaka, Miguel Torres, and Race Jenkins.
I'd like to thank Eduardo Franco, Josh Holt, Samu Mitchell, Eric Pidkimmy, Arthur A., CharityWater.org, David Arnold, Hang It Up, RP Siege, oh no, Andrew Van Barson, and Ari Kapovara. You're supposed to just pick it up.
And I'd like to thank Angel, Esteban Gonzalez, Kodab Games, Rachel, Justin Rash, Hudson Roth, Andy Smith, Aaron Serenity Now Little, John Scala, Seth G, Sol Wagner, Orcus the Great, and I want to give a special shout out to my friend and yours, and by yours I mean these guys, Scruffini, who is in the hospital, and we are wishing him well, even though I don't think he really listens to these episodes.
I miss you, Jay Scro. Thinking about you, bud.
Y'all ever win one of his prizes?
No,
I did.
and I always
In fact,
tried.
I was thinking about it earlier. Gang, I won Persona 5.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Yeah, that's how
wow,
I got Persona
what a
5.
great prize.
Right?
Totally.
And it
That's awesome.
came with the it was on the PlayStation, and it came with the PlayStation controller, stickers.
Yeah, what a great John Scruffini memory.
I think I won the Tomb Raider game. One of the Tomb Raider games.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I won Doom.
Dune?
Doom. The
Dune?
2016 Doom. Doom.
Dune?
So is it my turn to read? Which number?
4.
4? Okay. Live Alive. No piracy needed. Vanessa
Live
for
Alive.
president. Live Alive. No piracy needed. Vanessa for president. Alexander Jokic. Sean Walsh. Jesse's Mom's Pizza. Dova Keynes. Discount Dragon Barn. Mostly rational person. Chief Hazard made zucchini wine. Mary, Queen of Scoffs. Lupine Roots, the classic wolf video game podcast. Brian Pitt, Ōkami, more like Okama. Live and Live is the Jerpig adaptation of Bill. Live Alive is the Jerpig adaptation of Bill and Ted.
I hope it is.
I could see that, actually.
what about
I
that?
hope so.
What about that Bill and Ted adventure game for the Lynx?
I remember
I
that.
don't.
I never played it.
I think I've watched a playthrough of that.
Sounds like a
on YouTube.
hallucination the two of you had.
All right, well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. Somebody, for the love of God, get your phone out right now. Open your
Seriously.
mail client and send us an email to squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. I don't care what it is.
It's a stream of
Whatever
consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever you're thinking right now,
What
type
you're
it in
eating.
there. Yeah, what you're eating.
What you're
take
doing.
a picture. Use GIFs. Use copy
know,
paste whatever's on your clipboard.
Every episode
whatever.
that we don't have a new letter, fucking Vanessa's mom gets real sad.
Oh, it's true.
Vanessa's
Yeah.
mom ages another year for every week we don't have an email.
Square Roots podcast.
She's 112.
Hey, Jim,
At
can you not curse Vanessa's mama on the
gmail.com.
show?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Jim's
she's
just throwing
only
out
like 50
curses
then.
here and there.
This is a
And
real
everywhere.
thinner situation. No listeners.
Oh,
right.
if you are handing out thinner curses, like I
No.
could stand to.
It makes you thinner until you die.
Don't say thinner,
You don't need
just say
to
thin.
die to fucking conform to bodily norms.
What's the curse for like 15 pounds?
Like you gotta kill a chicken, I bet. I mean that's
That's
and then you can eat
that's
it
called
afterwards.
less.
Yeah, you gotta kill a chicken. You gotta just boil it.
less.
Yes. Match my BMI.
Yeah.
We're also on Facebook. We have a Facebook.
All right, sorry, John. We were
This is
riffing for a
Tangents
minute.
the
So,
episode.
okay. Our email, should you want to do any of what we just talked about, squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. We have a Facebook group. It's a Square Roots podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or you can find us on Twitter, where Vanessa is hitting on a lot of really cute male actors. That's at Square Roots Pod on Twitter.
No, it's true. I was like checking myself. I'm like, I think I need to like ease off on my reply guy
Vanessa's really been
tendencies
leaning
this week.
into tweeting hot dudes on Twitter.
Vanessa, you don't want to date actors. They're the worst.
Of course
Trust
I
me.
don't want to. I just want to tweet at them.
Okay.
And I only want to do it like 1 week out of the month. So it's all good.
All right, listeners,
Also,
write
you
it down
can
in your Vanessa
rate,
notebook.
review, and rate and review us
Write it down
on
in your
Stitcher,
Vanessa ovulation
SoundCloud, Spotify,
Does she
iTunes,
live in a
or
state that
Ghana,
wants to charge her for
and
that?
say
We'll see.
how great this show is. And also, once again, make your friends listen to it. Be like, hey, you're a nerd. You'll like these goofy, weird nerdos.
Yeah. Dive into issue 350. You'll get all the in jokes for sure.
We don't. We're pretty good about flushing our in jokes and starting over.
We are,
That's
yeah.
true.
Usually, like maybe second or third episode of those, we tank them.
It's because this is a family and we love each other and we tolerate each other. Well, we don't have to like each other.
We're also super online, and we follow the ebbs and flows of
That's true.
a lot of what's going on Twitter.
We're super trendy. We're super trend sweaters.
Yeah.
That's very
Trend
true.
sweaters. All right.
All right, everyone. For Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Fansant.
I'm Johnny Svanden.
I'm Vanessa, and I'm tweeting at you this week only.
Okay. Bye.